will run until Sunday night. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Summers are fun, so how do you make this summer really stand out? You drive into summer in a new Toyota from Toyota of Montgomery. Make it the most memorable and the most fun summer ever with exceptional offers on the 2024 Toyota Corolla. Now just $207 a month. Or the hot-selling new 2024 Camry, only $285 a month. And the fun for everyone new RAV4, just $315 a month. You don't have to drive in your old car anymore. Toyota of Montgomery is paying up to $5,000 over book value for your trade-in, so you can have the most exciting summer you've ever had. These hot deals on new Toyotas won't last. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. So get to Toyota of Montgomery today. Online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Corolla LE TSRP 23,923. Camry LE TSRP 30,703. RAV4 LE 31,173. 12,000 miles per year for 36-month lease with $499 due at signing. $0 security deposit with approved credit. Excessive wear, tear, and eligible with that trade value plus tax tag title $995 with approved credit in 7/1/2024.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon, or as we're calling this thing online, Joey Clark Live. You can, of course, like and subscribe on YouTube. That's the name of the channel, Joey Clark Live. Or watch us on Twitter X, where the action seems to be. I think Elon's got a good thing going on there, especially for upstarts. You can go to @TheJoeyClark on X. And so much to get to today, but first let's introduce our cast of characters. Eddie Bader is here. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing, Joe?
I'm all right. And Byron Sheehy is here. How you doing, Byron?
I'm doing well, Joey. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually in a good mood today.
That's right. We'll see what we can do
for
about
everyone
that.
involved.
Well, because, well, maybe. Some people like it when I'm ornery. Yeah. They think it's funny. Oh, look at the young man getting all upset and, you know, all his britches all bunched up.
And we know who they're referring to when they say the young man.
Yeah, we do. I mean, look at us on camera.
Yeah, I got some of that last night, so thanks for rubbing it in again.
Though I think the youth betrays me, because if somebody just hears me, they're like, man, he made a good point. And then they see me making the same point, and they're like, yeah, but he's got a lot of life to live.
Yeah, and that beard you have going there, that's like late 20s, early 30s.
Right, exactly.
You could shave it and go back to the baby face.
Oh, no. I don't think that would be a good look for me. But I'm in a good mood today because they'll come on as a full sponsor next week. But we went to Smokehouse Barbecue to eat breakfast.
Yeah, it was a great breakfast.
And my goodness, they got it going on over there.
What'd you have?
I had a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, and it was everything fresh. You know, when a biscuit really like mashes down, it's soft still. Yeah. And then their cheese grits are the best thing I put in my mouth in years.
What kind of cheese?
I think there's some cheddar in there.
That's
real cheddar.
Definitely some cream too.
Oh yeah.
What'd you say, Eddie?
You can
Some
actually
cream?
taste the cheese and the grits.
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll get cheese grits and they're just orange.
Well,
right.
The quality of the grit really does matter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it was great. It was sort of it was thick. Mm-hmm. Like you put a spoon in it, it's going to stand up. Yeah.
That's how I like my grits.
Nice.
And we're going back there.
Oh, no doubt.
For breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. Apparently they cater too.
Yeah, they got some great catering.
And they're under new ownership and leadership, and they have the original recipes back there, and got this great vision to get this place restored to its former glory. And as far as the food goes, from a first bite,
it was wonderful.
They're already there at the glory days.
I'm already ready in line to support them.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So maybe there'll be a meetup there. I had a good time there. It was great seeing Eddie outside of the studio.
was good to see you too, Joey. It was better to see the cheese grits, I got to be honest.
I'm guessing he didn't say much this morning.
No, he's good. He's got the gift of gab. He's always selling. He'll always be closing.
Always be closing, baby.
Right.
ABC,
Right.
always be cool. Also,
All right, and here's effing leaves. So it's the first day of summer. Happy summer solstice, everybody.
Yeah.
Longest day of the year by a
Right.
second. And apparently trending on the Twitter X today, it's going to be a Busch Light summer.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know if you're liking what they're actually pushing out there.
Well, Busch Light again, it's taken off again. You know, it's getting.
You
popular.
like Busch Light.
I like Busch Light. I just don't like all the Johnny Come Latelys. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's
what a hipster.
Yeah, I just realized that. Anyway, there's a Busch Light peach that I have bought.
Yeah, no, and that's what they're pushing today. That's why this is trending.
Let's just say one of our very highfalutin friends has had the Busch Light peach, and she loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Just sends me pictures of it all day long, and I have to remind her, you know, she's a redneck. She's like, no, I just like this. So
I just like peaches.
Now my wife has decided to get on board, and she told me last night, this is legit. This
I had one the other day.
Was
I think
it
it was
any good?
Josh Ryder at a pool party.
Yeah. Was it any good?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. I could see you having one too.
I mean, Busch Light is, like I said, not bad. Like, not the greatest thing I've ever drank.
I understand, but as a grown man, if I have the choice between Busch Light and a Busch Light peach, again, I'm a man. I'm going with the Busch Light.
Mhm.
But, I understand.
What, are you insecure in your sexuality? or
No,
something?
I just
it's
don't
not
like
that. Yeah,
sissy
no.
drinks like that.
Beer should taste like beer.
Beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Not White Claw.
No, I tend to agree with you.
Yeah, have yourself a seltzer.
Yeah, no, it was a little much. It also, the artificial peach flavor.
Was it strong?
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing.
Syrupy.
No, it's more that weird fake aftertaste.
Yeah, aspartame or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I don't love that. Like, if we actually cut up some peaches and
it'd probably
poured
be
some
pretty
Busch Light on top of it, that'd probably be
pretty good.
great.
Probably be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not going to sell that in a can.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to probably have to boycott that this Independence Day.
Do you have a go-to drink when you're in summer?
I'm more of a gin fan in the summer.
Really?
A gin fan?
Straight gin, or you do gin tonic, or?
Depending on the gin, I'll do it on the rocks, maybe a little lime, but try to save the dark water for football season.
Yeah, it's warranted.
Roll it through the holidays.
I still am a Guinness guy. Like, even during the summer,
right?
like not out on the lake or the beach or anything, but something about Guinness, it is filling,
Oh, yeah.
malty, and it's not crazy alcohol in it. So you can drink a few.
If I'm going to see my best friend, you know, later on this afternoon, I'm going to have a pint of Guinness. But
Right.
spirits-wise,
Spirits-wise, you're going with gin.
Yeah.
Like a Pimm's cup?
love a Pimm's.
I thought you said pimp.
No, not a pimp cup.
Really, man, you can give me Hendrix on the rocks and I'm good.
Yeah, it is good stuff. That is
And
hard
they
to
do
beat.
a lot of the seasonal releases. Those are amazing.
Yeah, it feels good that it's summer. Like, and actually the world in Alabama right now is beautiful. Everything's come alive. It's very green, very lush. And if you actually get away from the TV screen or from your phone and go out and enjoy the place, well, there's something to be happy about in this world. And then, you know, I start reading the news after I eat this great breakfast.
Why did you do that? Why did you?
Because it's my job, and I'm trying to stay away from it. I'm trying to stay away from all the stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
So, for instance, stupid news. Shane McMahon, you know, Vince's son, he might be coming back to wrestling, but not at WWE. He might be joining AEW, the competitor. Which the last time I think Shane was in the ring, he tore his quad muscle. I think it was at WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
Ooh, that's
He's
gotta
going up
hurt,
against
dude.
The Miz, and you can see when he falls, you can, if you watch enough wrestling, you can tell when they're actually hurt.
Yeah.
And like, he was actually hurt. Miz puts on a great show of like, get up, man. And then Snoop kind of saves the day. He was read in like, he's actually hurt. Go do something. Snoop gets in the ring and punches the Miz, and it didn't miss a beat. So to their credit.
All right.
But I can't remember, like what Triple H also has torn a pec or a bicep. I mean, I don't know why these guys, maybe too much testosterone.
There
Like-
was a guy, I want to say when I was growing up, maybe 15, 12 years old, somewhere around that. I want to say he fell from like maybe the top of the ring and like fractured his back.
Oh,
during
yeah?
a match.
Oh, yeah.
One of the Hart Boys, I think it was.
Oh yeah, that
Tin
makes
Man
makes sense. Oh yeah, well, and then Owen Hart died
Right.
trying to do the crazy
That's what I
stunt.
remember. Yeah.
And it's really, there is a grainy video footage of it. It's hard to watch.
Man, some of that stuff, like Mick Foley in Japan and stuff.
Oh, McFoley's nuts.
That's not fake. I'm sorry,
No.
you can't fall on a.
No.
Well, and now when you see Mick Foley, like see him today talking, you're like, yeah, he had a lot of concussions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of concussions.
And a lot of drugs.
Yeah, but he loves Santa. So he's always dressing up like Santa. I'm like, well, he's doing okay.
We got that in common.
Yeah, he's doing okay. Yeah, no, the classic match, at least for my generation, is Undertaker, Mick Foley. Both of them are really hurt, but they climb up on top of the cage, Hell in a Cell. They don't go in, they climb on top of it, and he throws them off onto the announcer table. And good old JR is like, he broke him, my God, he broke him in half. He broke him in half.
Trained or not, that's got to hurt.
Well, and everybody, they've, of course, done interviews and recaps and stuff, retrospectives. Since then, they're all like, we thought he was gone. Like, how did you survive that? And so, it's good to have wrestling back on the mind.
I got a question for you. All right, kind of parlay this into the debate coming up. If each of the presidents were going to walk out to the theme song, what would it be?
Well, Trump's got a great playlist. Like, Trump is known for his playlist.
You only get one. I mean, think about it. The glass shatters, or in you get the.
Oh, the Undertaker.
I mean, yeah, you get one.
That's a thought.
Yeah, I think Trump would go with something like.
So hard to handle now.
Yeah, or like You Can't Always Get What You Want.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones. I think that's on his playlist.
Or he would appeal to his buddy Kid Rock, and I got a feeling he'd come out with a Kid Rock song. If Kid Rock gets his crowd, his constituents.
It had to be sort of a crossover, with the contemporary scene now.
Yeah.
There'd be some Kanye Kid going on or something like that.
Well, actually, I think Trump would come out to a remix with, maybe he'll get some like young up and coming rappers, and they'll do a remix of YMCA. I could just see Trump, because he plays it at the rally still. Or what's the other song?
his
Gloria.
That's his favorite
He
band,
loves
man.
playing Gloria.
Yeah.
Well, but his true walkout music would be Lee Greenwood.
Yeah. No doubt.
No.
Yeah.
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 Again,
He put
speaking to
Lee
his audience.
Greenwood in a Bible.
Yeah. And then people like
Was
me
Lee
bought it.
Greenwood not already in that same conservative Bible? I mean, let's be honest.
No,
Lee
they literally
Greenwood-
created the Trump Bible. He bought one.
If,
Yeah, I got
if
one.
there was a Mount Rushmore of conservative songwriters, like Lee Greenwood would have one of those.
Oh,
spots.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But as far as bringing new voters to the table, it'd have to be something new.
Well, and so what would Biden pick? What, WAP?
Well, hip to him would be something from 1976. So
Right, yeah. Fortunate Son? I think that would be
That'd be a
fitting.
good one.
That'd be fitting.
yeah,
Or go Reagan, Born in the USA.
um,
Everybody keeps going, I don't think Reagan understood what that song was about. It was an anti-war. Like, was it? And how bad Vietnam vets were treated when they got back here. And no, Reagan was all about creating pride in the military.
What
So
about
that
it?
song
Yeah.
probably would have made sense to him.
Rot the Casbah.
Yeah, or, I mean, Joe, I'm stumped on Biden. Like, what would that guy actually come out
I
to?
fought the law and the law won.
Yeah. That,
Oh,
that
he's
could
not that
work.
cool.
Hmm?
He's just not that cool.
Have you not seen him when he throws the shades on? Starts doing that cornholio walk?
Yeah,
A
I have.
loser by bet.
I watched a lot of the what was the not deep fakes, the cheap fakes or whatever.
Oh,
I
the
watched
cheap
I watched
fakes,
a lot
yeah.
of those clips last night.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of those as they were happening. I don't see anything being doctored on there.
It's a play, man. I mean, it's just, they're trying to kill the messenger.
Yeah.
It's distract from the actual message in whatever way that they can.
I get it, but if it were even close, maybe. But it's not even close.
Well, they're going to take into account that most people aren't going to, take the time to do what you
Very
did.
true. Very true.
Yeah, but it's just obvious. Like, the underlying point is Joe is old, slowed down. Hardly anybody believes he's actually running things. He might have to ceremonially make a decision every once in a while. Like, if, say, the Ukrainians can throw missiles into Russia proper, American ones, then, yeah, I'm sure the president has to sign off on it for legal reasons. But is Joe actually running the show? No. And that's the point. This guy really is out of his wits. Like, you see him at these international gatherings, whether it's the G7 or something else, and you're like, he looks like a doddering old man
Okay.
with a demence
All
walk.
right. But you said, running the show, right?
Hmm.
Who, besides the most recent, Trump, actually really did run the show. When W was in office, you had the neocons, Rove, Carl, Wolfowitz, and everyone else.
Cheney ran a lot of that, yeah.
De facto president Cheney, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so
No, it was an agreement between W and Cheney, kind of let Cheney sort of play in foreign policy.
I
Right?
think it was. I don't know if it was an agreement so much as Cheney kind of
Dominated.
dominated
Yeah, the
arena.
Office of Special Plans.
I
and-
mean,
yeah.
But wasn't Cheney the guy that said, "I'll go find you a vice president"? He came
Oh,
back
yeah.
and said, "Hey,
I
it's
got
me,
the-
baby."
I got the perfect guy.
All right.
Well, and then I guess Clinton might have. It seems like every story also have heard about Clinton's presidency. Clinton was very much within his wits, and he was a fairly young man at the time.
Yeah,
And as dirty of a dog he is, nobody I think questions his intelligence.
I think he was probably the most brilliant politician of my life.
Yeah, that guy came out of nowhere too.
Well, not just out of nowhere, but embracing the third rail and getting as much, accomplished as he did.
Right.
That was impressive.
So, do we think the Democrats are going to break glass here, or does it hinge on the debate?
I think it does.
How Biden does in the debate? Okay.
I mean, as much as we like to say that debates don't matter,
Mm.
I
over
think
the
they
past 20 or 30 years, there's been a couple of cases where they have mattered. And the closer you get to the election, the more they matter. So it may not be this one in particular, but this is going to be the one that really gets, the inner circle's attention.
Well, and the polls still look good for Trump. Now, you got to remember the polls condition the polls, and they don't give out this stuff for free, just because they like to, a public service.
But I've seen some, and I sent you one last night, man on the street interviews, even in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was pleasantly surprised. People of color were openly saying, "Oh yeah, Donald's my man."
Oh,
And
yeah,
they would
man.
go into reasons why, and it's the reasons we've talked about. I relate with what's going on in his life. I relate with the fact the cops are giving him a hard time. I've realized that these charges they brought against him, he didn't hurt anybody. These are just made up charges.
Right.
So to me, there is light being shed on that.
And I think in pursuit of the woke and the so-called racial reckoning, the Democrats lost a lot of younger black men in particular who have, we were talking about yesterday, a middle-class mindset.
Oh, yeah.
You might not even be there economically yet,
Yeah.
but you have the mindset of, I can do, just kind of get out of my way, leave me alone. Like, I care about my community, I care about the nation, but the best thing you could do for my community and nation is let me do me. And I think that mentality is growing stronger by the day across the board, especially 50 and younger.
I echo that. I mean, from what I've seen over the past couple of cycles, black, white, Jew, Gentile, rich, poor, doesn't matter. 45, 48 and under, especially with children, all people want is an opportunity.
Yep.
They
Right.
want to know
Yeah.
that the American dream is still real.
And
That's it.
And then also, the headlines earlier in the week is the convicted felon, calling Trump a convicted felon. The headlines are, there's an impact in the polling. And when you actually read into the polling, it's like, yeah, he's had a slight drop in approval with independents. A slight one. He's still leading in many categories.
Yeah, but see that
Enough to even matter.
it will be.
Okay.
To me, that's important. I was going to say,
Yeah.
I want to know where the independents or the undecideds are. Everyone else is baked in.
Right.
I mean, at that point, it's just whether they go vote or not. I want to know the people who are actually still undecided. Those are the only people that really matter. to me
Yeah,
right
at this
now.
point, you're right.
Well, and this broke today that RFK Jr., says CNN, is not going to qualify for their debate. So it will be Trump-Biden with no RFK Jr. on there. They said he didn't meet the polling, but he definitely didn't meet ballot access in all 50 states, or enough of the states, to get on the debate stage, which, I mean, that's a huge hit to
It
Kennedy.
is.
This seems like a really heavily negotiated debate.
Oh,
The no audience, the muted
mics.
mics, scheduled bathroom breaks.
and
I
the
mean,
people that
yeah.
are doing the debate.
Just
that are
stick a
actually doing it-
catheter in them.
But yeah, that's a good idea. But as bad as this debate's going to be, or set up to be one-sided, I'm still proud Trump stepped up and said, "Yeah, I'll do it anyway. I'll do it anyway."
Yeah.
I know it's not in his nature, and I think we probably said this before, but I'd love if he almost did like the rope-a-dope version of this.
Oh, right.
And just give
Yeah.
Biden enough room, or enough line, rather,
Yeah.
to hang himself.
Hang himself.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd take much.
No, I mean, just let him start spinning the yarn,
Yeah.
and sooner or later he'd be twisted around talking to the wall.
Well, and
Yeah.
Trump does have this more in every interview he's doing now. He seems, number one, he seems like he's having fun at his rallies again,
Yeah,
which is a good sign, where he just goes off prompter and he just goes in all these stories and some people hate it. Why isn't he more disciplined and be more? Oh, stop it, you squares.
Thank you.
Like, I kind of like him being himself.
Yeah.
And even with him being himself, it doesn't seem as nasty. Like, he seems more conciliatory, more making, even self-deprecating at times. And like with the debate thing, he's like, you know, Fake Tapper, I've had problems with Fake Tapper, but we're going to get along. I know Jake from a long time. Like, he's softening a little bit whilst keeping that edge.
Yeah, the real tappers that get you in trouble.
Right, right. Dana Bash, Jake Tapper are going to be the moderators, so-called there. And, we'll see where it goes. But I'm looking at this. Kennedy apparently didn't get much ballot access, and he needed another poll to show him above 15% or more. So he missed that deadline. He's still going to affect, I think, this race.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why I'm still talking to the Libertarians. Well, we will be interviewing the Libertarian presidential candidate, Chase Oliver, I think July 1st.
Okay.
Because even a 3% move, a 2% move in a battleground can change this thing.
To that point, I mean, hit your network up and let's see if we can get some of the libertarians in those battleground states.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we can work on that.
That'd be good.
No, the chair of the LP just started following me on the Twitter.
She's late.
Angela's her name, actually. Angela McCardle. I think she did actually a great job of getting eyeballs on the convention. Like, I like Angela. And I've seen her in interviews. Like, I think she's got a keen mind for organization and politics. And they understand they're not going to win major elections, but they can be a bit of a spoiler in these things. And that was the leverage they used.
If they can survive long enough just to stay relevant, man. I mean, just be a place that people can coalesce that are disenfranchised with the other parties.
So I'm trying to stay in a good mood. I am genuinely trying. But I'm looking at clips, the list of clips I have here. And, I'm wondering what's going to keep me in a good mood. Frank Luntz impressed with Trump's polling in Minnesota. Romney on Trump. I draw a line when someone has been found to have been sexually assaulting.
Let's get that one.
Yeah, I think that one's just going to... It already is pissing me off.
Thank you.
Go eat a hot dog, you stupid fake... I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Don't want to upset the... Mormon church. Hey, how about this? I'm going to play another guy who can actually go on an angry rant.
All right.
And he's masterful. I've actually not watched this, so we'll be watching it and listening together in real time. This is Sloppy Steve, Steve Bannon. Bannon's apparently unleashes on Paul Ryan here. Let's listen in.
This will be fun.
Together.
Sir, give it to me. Have the Paul Ryan acolytes tell me anything in your life. Give me a fight that you stood in the breach in. On Billy Bush weekend where they tried to smear you stood, no, you cut and ran. When we're coming into the close in 16 to stop the Clintons from taking over with Merrick Garland, the Supreme Court, think about that for a second. It's all in the balance. That's the defining moment. In war, it comes down to a couple of minutes that defines you forever. And in that moment, you showed your character. You ran and hid in Wisconsin. You would not have us come to Wisconsin, and you said, I will get Johnson, and it will be a humiliation. You can't come. That's character, bro.
Wow.
Let me give you character about 2018. You cut and ran on an individual who worked a tax cut, was trying to build the wall. He gave us peace and prosperity. You cut and ran.
Again, he's talking about Paul Ryan.
So please, Murdoch, Lachlan, James, any of you, Jesse Waters, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, give it to me. Show me where the guy Paul Ryan has ever had any character when it mattered. When you're in the middle of a fight and you don't know how it's going to turn out. And it could go the other way on you. That's character in the defining moment. In the defining moment of his political life, every time there's a crisis, he runs. And you're going to have him sit there and lecture us about the character of a man who went back to Mar-a-Lago when he could have retired, and he turned around understanding he was going to go to prison and they were going to bankrupt him and they were going to do everything to him. And he said, hell no. I'm coming back to fight for that republic. Well, that's a guy I will stand with. And the Murdochs are disgusting.
All right.
There's like 5 more minutes of
Good
this.
Lord.
Well, over the next 5 minutes, did he hit Ryan on the fact that he gave away what seemingly was like half of Wisconsin to that Chinese company?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I haven't
Fox
haven't
and
listened to
I
this
can't
yet.
remember the exact name, but yeah, that was a big
Mhm.
blow to his political aspirations.
See, and
earlier.
not only do I always appreciate a good rant, it's more I love the consistent infighting within the, say, Conservative Incorporated. Like there's for so long been this professional conservatism, people like Paul Ryan, that people that nominated Mitt Romney, that got a bunch of conservatives to vote for Romney and Ryan, who have no intention of doing much of anything different from the Democratic Party. They might haggle over a few things that they make a big deal out of. There are some differences, but not where it counts. And so to have bulldogs like Bannon out there just rah, 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 and not giving up the bone, I think is beautiful. More of this in the Republican Party.
I'm all for more civil discourse and holding people to task like Paul Ryan on some of these things.
Sure.
I'm not going to go as far as to say like the Democrats more than other Republicans, because I do think that fundamentally there is a major difference. But the dude is as soft as Charmin. I mean,
Right.
he is the epitome of the silk stocking Republican.
Yeah, but they're like the well, I was about to say the bottoms of the political world. Like they are designed to lose.
They're squishy.
Yes. They're designed, they're the guys that go into the wrestling ring to make the star look good. Like they play a role where they constantly, yes, cut and run. And they're like, well, they're going to, Paul Ryan, I always cite this. He comes out with a balanced budget. It didn't balance until 2040. It was 2010 or something.
Right.
It didn't balance till 2040. He's like, well, we got to be reasonable here. And the Democrats still ran an ad showing him throwing a grandmother out of a wheelchair off of a cliff. I'm like, Paul, if they're going to do that anyway with a budget you weren't going to balance for 30 years, which is a joke anyway because the Congress revisits this every few years, why not go for the gusto, you jackass?
Gusto's not really in his playbook.
Yeah. But I thought he liked to work out. And
Well, I mean, do you call yoga working out?
it can be.
I mean, it's an exercise, but it's not cross country.
Are you calling yoga dainty?
I'm calling it less strenuous than other activities.
Okay, you should join me one day.
Okay.
We'll drink some peach Busch Lights
And
together.
do some downward facing dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually did. Used
Maybe
to
you guys should
yoga.
do it at
Mm-hmm.
a pool party and show how skilled you are. Just a thought.
Well, you ever had any up dog?
Mm-mm.
Almost fell for it.
Mm-mm. Yeah, you almost got me.
Yeah, let's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
Sneaky.
Maybe y'all could eat some tofu after your yoga
Well,
session.
Papa B, you ever had a
There
up?
we go.
Ever had a up dog?
I don't. No, but I guess I haven't. What is
What's up,
What-
dog?
What up,
with you?
dog?
what's up?
Waka waka waka.
Well,
He's so
if
proud
it's
of
served by
himself.
Sierra Delecto, though, you don't know what it might be. Sierra Delecto. I still can't get over that.
Oh yeah.
Him and Ryan, you've heard of the Great White Hope. They were the Great White Dopes. I mean, I said, every time the Republicans served up somebody, prior to Trump, I was like, okay, all right, this is it. Let's get back. And then it just yanked the rug right out from under you. So, Bannon, I love him. He's got a point. And, more of that. I love it. And the reason is because it is true. What he said about Paul Ryan is absolutely 100% gospel jubilee truth.
Yes.
So that's what makes it right. And that's what a lot of people in the Republican Party need to hear is a good quaffing of the truth there. But anyway, so lunch, the guy reminds me of a Muppet. He just not the grumpy old men Muppet, but maybe the grumpy old men with more fur on their face or something.
Like Fozzie Bear?
The guys up
Waka
in
Waka?
the
Yeah, up in the orchestra there, around the
yeah.
boxes, yeah.
He's just, he's worth maybe tuning into occasionally. One of the things that he said, though, I think is kind of maybe a point that we need to look at, and that is that no matter how you slice it, this election, just like the last several, is probably going to come down to, just a dozen districts in a handful of swing states, one way or the other. And so, might be something to that. I don't know. I would say this, though. If you have followed the news like I have, like y'all do, you'll notice, maybe you haven't noticed, but there are reports of this assault on the voter registration. There's people being, that are attempting to register to vote that probably aren't citizens. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I interviewed Secretary of State Wes Allen about
he
that
brought
yesterday.
that up yesterday, yeah.
Okay. And so the report that I saw was out of Texas, where just a couple of weeks ago, there were 227,000 attempts to register to vote. And, there were a bunch of dead people that were trying to register. There were a bunch of people that didn't have matched Social Security numbers that were trying to register. A portion of them were able to register. So, and they're all in swing states and swing districts. The Democrats are taking it to the bank with the illegal aliens, attempting to get them registered to vote.
Yep.
You can bank on it. And so I believe that there are enough people that are taking a really close look at it to stop it. But boy, if you want to talk about where the next battlefront is, that's got to be at least on the top 3 on the list, I would say.
100%.
So keep an eye on that one. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for letting me call in. I always enjoy the show.
Appreciate it, Bobby B.
Joey, listen, I was doing a race for Secretary of State in Georgia a couple of cycles back, and legitimately the difference between the registering for the national election versus state election, there was not a citizenship requirement on the national.
Well, and Wes Allen, and I asked him this question. I think anybody who looks at it at first blush, if you think a couple steps ahead, okay, how can you verify anything? When Wes testified up in D.C., Senator Britt asked him this. And there is no verification. At best, there is a question: are you a citizen? And you're using the honor system. There's no way to double back and check that.
I mean,
now
there could be,
and there should be
very easily.
Yeah, but as the law currently exists, no. There's no way to actually, especially when you're talking about thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of different folks,
and state by state too. I mean, that's really the problematic part. And going back to the advantages from COVID and everything else, that was the perfect scenario during that last cycle, and hopefully other Secretary of States like ours has kind of gotten to the bottom of some of the discrepancies. We weren't in play in that, but I know Pennsylvania was, Wisconsin, Georgia, all the usual suspects as far as swing states.
So, that's a huge issue going into November. But the problem is you got to win the election to change the damn law.
Well, I mean, like I just said, there were the people that I was just naming, those were Republican states, and they were pushing back. I mean, it truly does almost take an act of Congress to get something like this accomplished.
Well, we got to hit this break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And Ashley and that great team there at Pest Pro Services are able to help you with any of your pest control needs. Could be you want a particular thing done, like a termite treatment, or maybe get the yard treated, get rid of those nasty, nasty mosquitoes. Seriously, of all the insects, I think the mosquito is the worst, and they can get rid of those mosquitoes so you can actually enjoy the backyard or, say, the front porch and enjoy the summertime that is upon us. Or it could be you're just looking for a local company that people trust that does a great job across the board, an everyday pest control company. That is Pest Pro Services. They've been growing leaps and bounds over the last few years because of how good of a job they do and the fact that they're great local folks who are giving back beyond the services they already provide. So check them out today. You can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. That number, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Right now, get the hottest offers on the hottest luxury vehicles. Drive into summer with 1.9% APR financing on new Lexus models. Or drive the new Lexus IS 300, only $369 a month. Or the 2024 ES 350, now just $499 a month. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. Get the lowest Lexus payments now at Lexus of Montgomery, part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Number 5130706 or C036027. 5,000 miles per year, 36 months with $3,999 due in signing. With approved credit, expires 6/30/24 plus tax and fees.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors? Gorilla Glue. Of course. It's incredibly strong and 100% waterproof and bonds, well, virtually everything. While you're at it, look for Gorilla Tape, a heavy-duty double-thick duct tape, and Gorilla Super Glue, great for all your quick fixes and repairs. There's also Gorilla Epoxy, Gorilla Wood Glue, Gorilla Construction Adhesive. Of course. You get it. If you can break it, Gorilla can fix it. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The way to start with this is just find things that are interesting, go into ChatGPT and ask it to write a post. And you're not going to like the first thing you get back.
Kai Gray is a Power AI user, and in the show, he gives us concrete examples of what AI is doing for him as well as colleagues in his AI Learners Group. This one you don't want to miss. Listen to What's Working Saturday noon or find us online at what'sworkingcam.com.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to get your cooling system ready for the long, hot summer. Call today about the advantages of the Clark Club membership to be sure you're covered. Call 277-2125. Better call Clark. Alabama certification number 09098.
Everybody, on this first day of summer, today is the longest day of the year. Officially, it's 1 second longer than yesterday. Hot day with a high around 94, but not crazy on the humidity. And lots of sunshine today. Tonight's low down to about 72. Tomorrow's high around 95, and once again, the rain chances are running 10% or less today and tomorrow. But over the weekend, a little bit more humid with widely scattered spotty random storms here in the afternoon and evening hours. I think the rain chances are a little higher on Monday with highs mostly in the mid-90s over the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Do you have big plans this summer? Dive into summer with an ASE Credit Union vacation loan. Whether you've got a trip coming up, projects at home, or just need a little extra cash, we've got you covered. So don't put your plans on hold. Visit yourasecu.com or stop by and see us today.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. Both Eddie and Byron Sheehy here in the studio. Eddie is the one wearing turquoise.
You like it, don't you?
It's it brings out the color in your eyes.
Yeah, it's kind of big on me, but it works.
And, interesting comment here, local comment. Hunter says, currently 30 minutes waiting on police to respond to the scene of an accident on Carmichael Road. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have the manpower.
Yep. I bet we get a press release from the new comms director.
Oh, did y'all see the headline today locally that Daryl Albert is now seeking the police chief job in Austin, Texas?
I did not see that. That's interesting. Yeah, they got some.
Guess are they handsy in Texas?
They got some issues.
At least in Austin.
In Austin, they got some issues.
They're going from let's get horrible to let's get weird or
Yeah,
whatever it
something
is.
like that. Huh? Let's go to Bill. Hey, Bill, how you doing?
I'm great. How are y'all today? Y'all are sounding good.
Good. I'm in a good mood today so far.
Well, good. I'll try not to spoil that. I do
My
need to
job.
make a correction to something I said yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I said that the Russians' top fighter was a MiG-29. It's a MiG-57.
Okay.
And they're the ones, they've got 29 and 2 crashed. Total.
And I don't know if you heard my follow-up to what you said. I think most of what you said, other than the correction you made, was true. But I'm not thinking of the Russian military in terms of their capability compared to the United States military. I think the United States military still has the edge across the board in most technologies. I would say, though, the Russians are, capable in a lot of ways, and the Chinese even more so.
Yeah. Well, I would be more concerned over the Chinese, but the Chinese have the ability, a phenomenal ability, to take other people's technology and backward engineer it.
Reverse engineering.
Yeah. And then after they reverse engineer it, use it on their own.
Yep.
But one of the things that the U.S., and I sent Eddie a couple of videos last night on TikTok. One of them was where 2 F-22s go up and they send 20 F-16s to dogfight with them. Under 2 minutes, the F-22s are 12 o'clock high, headed home, done deal. Nobody else survived. So if you know the abilities of the F-16, and to think that 2 F-22s take on 20 of them, that's pretty phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, the F-22 Raptor is a mean machine, man.
But what I was calling about was I caught just a couple of minutes of NBC nightly news last night, and they were talking about how Joe Biden has closed a 6 to 8 point deficit to Trump in the last couple of weeks, and that Trump is now head-to-head with Biden in the numbers. And I'm thinking, there are probably people that hear this and actually believe it.
Yeah, the polls condition the polls. There is a lot of this, because I could cite, and who knows what's true, but in a recent Emerson College poll, Trump is leading Biden in 7 swing states with a tie in Minnesota. So, but Trump up 4 in Arizona, up 4 in Georgia, up 3 in Wisconsin, 3 in Nevada, 2 in Pennsylvania, 1 in Michigan, both tied at 45 in Minnesota. So, I mean, that's Emerson. Are they more correct than, I don't know.
Well, they were attributing the lead shrink of Trump to his conviction in New York.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute. If that's true, how did he raise $60 million unsolicited after that verdict came out?
Oh, yeah, and it ended up being a $400 million month for him.
Both those things can still be true, though.
A hit in some of the polls and all the money being raised from
your supporters back you, and again, going back to those undecided.
No, I think, to your point, Bill, what they're trying to do is make this label they created, a convicted felon, you're going to hear a lot of it. They're trying to really make it stick and actually sting. And having polls suggest that maybe even the news organization themselves commissioned with their own money, might make that happen.
I mean, that should be.
Well, the amazing thing to me is the Democrats can no longer say there's no evidence of election fraud because there's 120,000 votes that they can't find in Arizona.
Yep.
There's 250,000 votes in Georgia that can no longer find and verify. Pennsylvania, there's over 100,000. And I think was it Minnesota that they just had a lady that was convicted of voter fraud, and one of the reporters tried to interview her, and she virtually tried to chase him down in the car because she didn't want to talk to him. So they can no longer say there's no evidence of voter fraud. You just got to open your eyes if you want to see it.
I appreciate the call, Bill.
You know, the argument.
Have a great day.
You too, Bill.
They'll be careful. They'll acknowledge that voter fraud is possible.
Right.
But can it be conducted on such a large scale that it actually sways an election? Well, yeah, it can be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Stacey Abrams.
I mean, the condom can break, but you're not going to get pregnant.
Yeah. I mean, everything's fail-safe, right?
You okay, Eddie?
I just cannot agree with that statement at all.
Which one?
The condom thing.
It can break.
Rattlesnakes and condoms?
It can break.
Yeah. But you're not going to get pregnant. It's like a 1% chance.
Well, he's not.
You're right. I'm not. But it happens, Joey.
I guarantee you that every student in Wisconsin votes in this election.
Actually, I have a clip here I've been saving. This will stave off pregnancy.
Well, as you all know, today is National Hot Dog Day. And perhaps you also know that hot dog is my favorite meat.
Oh, God.
I love hot dogs. I love them in buns. I love them outside of buns. I love them with baked beans. I just like hot dogs. It's the best, best meat there is, without question.
That was the guy that y'all were excited to vote for in 2012.
Don't say y'all. No, don't you say that.
I did say it.
No,
man, I'd be excited to beat this dude with a rubber hose. He has on a hat of a hot dog, holding a hot dog, and it's got ketchup on it.
And then listen to what he says here.
Today is National Hot Dog Day. And perhaps you also know that hot dog is my favorite meat.
My favorite meat.
Hot dog is my favorite meat.
And then, okay, my hot dog is my favorite meat.
He doesn't say hot dogs.
Hot dog.
Hot dog.
Singular. Hot dog is my favorite meat.
I love hot dogs. Okay. I love them in buns. I love them outside of buns. I love them with baked beans. I just like hot dogs.
And then he says something truly astounding here.
It's the best, best meat there is, without question.
No, it's not. Even if you like hot dog is not the best meat in
It's the best use of that meat that's left on the floor.
That poor staffer that got fired for suggesting that was a good idea. Kid, not everything is a good idea. Take it from me.
It's gracious.
I didn't know that he was backed by Big Hot Dog.
I mean, what are those hot dogs on his tie? What is that?
Well, this shouldn't surprise me. Wasn't it Schumer this weekend that cooked the raw burgers and put the cheese on there? I mean, what do these people really know about?
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Right.
Like, what the hell? Why? Are these lizard people really? I'm actually used to feasting on stem cells, but to impress the humans, let's look like we're grilling out.
raw burger.
Chuck, when's the last time you actually grilled your own hamburger?
Thank you. 'Cause the grill wasn't even lit, and the burgers were still raw as they could be. Yet there was so much.
I
cheese
know you
on it.
meant that literally, but I took it as a euphemism.
I mean,
when's the last time you grilled your own hamburger, Eddie?
Been a while, Joe. You got a lot of people staying at the house.
he,
No privacy
he
anymore.
is in a good mood.
How about this? Let's hit a quick break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now. This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Independent Glass has been your one-stop shop for all things glass since 1978. They offer a full range of architectural products, and they're armed with the knowledge and expertise to get even the most demanding job done, big or small. Attention to detail, 24-hour replacement services, and their uncompromising commitment to excellence is why Montgomery's first choice for all things glass is Independent Glass. Call them today at 263-2823 and learn more about what they can do for you at independentglassco.com.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they're ready to help you men out. And, it can happen to any of us, fellas. Low testosterone. It's a real thing. And it's not just happening to men who, it happens naturally in your 50s, especially your 60s. And there are a lot of guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that are seeing this, feeling the changes, and they want to keep their edge. But there are a lot of young guys, too, in their 20s and 30s. It's a true epidemic in the North America in particular. Not the North. Them Yankees are low T.
Them liberal blasting.
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant. But in North America, it really is a problem where younger men are experiencing low testosterone. So what are the signs? Well, if you're lacking motivation, if you're lacking energy, lacking drive, including a decrease, even if it's non-existent to a certain point, of sex drive, loss of muscle mass, and weight gain, just feel like you're walking through your life in a fog. Knowing whether or not you have low testosterone is huge in combating these sorts of issues. And the providers there at Montgomery Men's Health can help you by conducting a testosterone-focused lab workup, plus a consultation for only $99. And they have low T treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido. So you can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. Let's go to Eric the dog. Hey, Eric. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Killing me this morning, this afternoon, whatever it is. Old Mitt Romney and his hot dog meat there. How about we have a new test for during the debates? You put a grill up there, a charcoal grill, no lighter fluid, some matches, several different kinds of meat, and tell them to, you call out, give me the steak or the hamburger, and make them cook it while they're sitting there talking. Give them a beer too. Let's see if we can get them tipsy.
Yeah.
Let's see their ability to actually do modern day things. Manly men doing manly things.
How difficult is it to grill a frickin' hamburger or hot dog?
Man,
I don't know, but if you let them do it, you can find out.
I bet you couldn't even open the jar of pickles or ketchup or mayo or whatever.
Now, occasionally, do you ever get a bottle of soda? There are certain brands, or like Gatorade had this problem for a second, where it's like, you could be strong. That thing ain't coming off unless you break it.
It's not going to beat me, man.
Not going to beat you? Okay, I see how it is.
Okay. See if they know the correct way to undo the Gatorade packs. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Pull
sure.
the zip on the front of them.
Right, exactly.
See if they can open a pop top with a
No,
lighter.
this keeps happening with all these photo ops. So look, humans, I'm being normal. I'm having a beer. I'm grilling out on a holiday weekend. And it's just like, stop it.
Their people are so out of touch that they thought that made sense. They
Right.
thought that was a good idea.
Right.
That's what show them. But those guys, they probably don't even pick out their clothes in the morning, and some of them may not even dress themselves. We know Joe don't. Joe's got some poor Secret Service guy's got to put that dude's clothes on because he doesn't even know that that's not a restroom facility when you put it on. We got to do better. We got to get these. Look, and I don't care if you're older. I'm sorry, but there's been a generation that's held on to these powers of position to the point where they're just so that they won't turn loose and let somebody else try to screw it up. I'm not saying we'll do it any better, but I mean, your ideas are not working, and now that it's a system, it's a retirement system that you take into your 90s for all your buddies and stuff, and
yeah.
I'm sick of it, man.
It's kind
I'm
of
tired
built
funding
on,
these
the whole
guys.
thing's built on a lie. But I appreciate it, Eric.
All right, y'all.
Hey, I'm glad that people are, finally, it's taken our generation a few years to understand this. They're not letting go of the brass ring.
No,
they're not giving up the power. We're going to have to take it from them. Some organizations are trying to get term limits passed. Not going to happen. Really are going to have to exercise this thing at the ballot box.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I'll put it that way.
little bit,
That it's not just about voting. There's all this infrastructure and other things you need to take on these folks. It's frustrating, but also there are a lot of great developments. So let's hit this top of the hour break. Be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Tropical Storm Alberto, the season's first named storm, has weakened as it moves inland over northeast Mexico, but not before bringing heavy rains to a parched region and leaving at least 3 people dead. South Korea will consider sending arms to Ukraine after Russia and North Korea rattled the region and beyond by signing a pact to come to each other's defense in the event of war. Russian President Putin signing a series of deals with his Vietnamese counterpart during a state visit that comes as Moscow is seeking to bolster ties in Asia to offset its growing international isolation over its military actions in Ukraine. Putin and President Hollande signing agreements to further cooperate in education, science, and technology. The Dow had 165 points, the Nasdaq losing 157. This is SRN News.
Are you a business owner? Did you know that there are over 33 million small businesses in America? Small businesses are the engines that power our country. So why is it so hard for them to acquire business funding for things like expansion and cash flow? Bank loans are becoming harder to attain as large corporations grab all the capital. Who's looking out for you and your business? Meet Swish Funding, the business funding platform offering quick and easy funding options exclusively for small businesses. Whether it's funds for cash flow, expansion, or equipment, Swish Funding has your back. And whether it's $25,000 or even $2 million, our process takes just minutes, with cash in your account in less than 24 hours. To qualify, you must be in business for at least 1 year, with an average monthly revenue of at least $25,000. Swish Funding, helping keep America's small businesses running. Apply for the funding your business needs at swishradio.com. That's SWISH radio.com.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. On this first day of summer, today is the longest day of the year. Officially, it's 1 second longer than yesterday. Hot day with a high around 94, but not crazy on the humidity. And lots of sunshine today. Tonight's low down to about 72. Tomorrow's high around 95. And once again, the rain chances are running 10% or less today and tomorrow. But over the weekend, a little bit more humid with widely scattered spotty random storms here in the afternoon and evening hours. I think the rain chances are a little higher on Monday with highs mostly in the mid-90s over the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A 15-year-old boy has been arrested and charged with capital murder in the shooting death of a 12-year-old girl in Montgomery. The shooting happened in the 4100 block of Keating Drive near the Montgomery Zoo on Friday, May 3rd. The girl was taken to a local hospital, then transferred to UAB, where she later died. The Autauga County Commission has voted down several proposals to make improvements at the Autauga County Metro Jail. Sheriff Mark Harrell evacuated the jail on June 6th, sending inmates to be housed in other facilities, stating it was up to the county commission to fix the health and safety issues at the jail. The Alabama Department of Agriculture has confirmed the presence of Africanized bees in Alabama. The feral swarms were collected in Jackson and St. Clair counties and euthanized to protect Alabama's honeybees. The public is urged to stay vigilant as Africanized honeybees can be highly aggressive. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
When your day begins well before the sun rises, when your family's livelihood depends on your equipment, Whitworth Farm Equipment is here to keep you in the field. Your tractor should work as hard as you do and keep working. For all parts, come see Whitworth Farm Equipment. For all tractor parts, implements, and trailers, and now selling pine straw bales, come see Sharon and Suzanne. Whitworth Farm Equipment, 285-9977.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. Well, I've kicked the other fellas out of the studio because, well, Eddie always needs a break. Just look at him. And Byron, well, he needs a break too. And I've replaced them with two lovely ladies. We have Taylor here, as well as Martha, both from the city of Prattville. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing great. How are you?
Good, doing all right. Good to meet you, Martha.
Nice to meet you too, Joey.
Good to see you again, Taylor.
Good to see you too.
So, what do y'all have coming up with big events? I guess we should start with the 4th of July is upon us, right?
Yes, Independence Day coming around the bend.
So, what do you got going on there?
So we got the 4th of July parade that starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm not a morning person, but it's so fun to watch everybody decorated and all the groups that come out.
And this year we are asking people to decorate their bicycles and be part of the parade. So we'll have some decorated bicycles with some kids and families involved in that, just to get them out and have a good time, you know.
So that's bright and early at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
I think it's a good way to start a day, but that's not all. In fact, you got a whole day's worth of festivities.
Yes, the parade actually leads to the Lions Club barbecue, so there will be different vendors out there. And we have a new place for it, and we also have a band that will be out there as well.
Okay.
And the Lions Club, Joey, is selling butts.
All right.
I just wanted to say that.
So they're selling butts.
They're selling pork butts.
Like smoked ones?
Yeah, smoked
Yeah,
pork butts.
I like that.
Yeah, you can pre-order them. I don't know how, but you can.
That sounds delicious,
You can go
actually.
to their website.
Yeah, you can go to the
and their
Lions Club
Facebook.
Prattville website and Facebook, and they are. You can do a pre-order of those pork butts, and then I think they'll be having some other stuff later too. Is that right, Taylor? Like maybe
They'll
other-
have a band
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
And then all the vendors that are out there as
And,
well.
and where will this be exactly?
This will be in Pratt Park.
Pratt Park. Okay. And so the parade in the morning, then we've got the barbecue with the Lions Club and entertainment going on with the bands. But that, again, is not all, right?
No. So
And there's more.
We got the cardboard boat race, which we were talking about
Oh,
before. That is an annual event that we have, and it's become a tradition for a lot of families.
So, and you've not seen this before.
I have not. I have
Neither
seen
have I.
pictures.
It's very
I've seen
entertaining.
pictures of these beautiful cardboard creations. And, you know, of course, when I see them, they're still afloat in the picture. So it's going to be fun to see how long they last. But people come up with some pretty creative designs for their cardboard boat.
And so people are allowed only so much cardboard, so much duct tape. Like
Oh,
there
yeah.
are some parameters here, and it's whoever stays afloat the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also if you don't, we have a Titanic award as well.
Come on, Joey. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like all the people on the Titanic.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's a fun thing. And you said that this has been going on. Family's been doing this for a while now.
Oh yeah, last year was my first year watching, and it was very entertaining and seeing the families out there cheering their people on. We had one that was shaped like a softball, and so they had used yellow tape and made a softball as two girls who play softball for Prattville.
All
It was
right.
super entertaining.
I'm excited to go see it. Yeah, and it takes place in the pool at Pratt Park. So,
Okay.
yeah.
No, that should be. I've never seen something like that. I got to check that out. So, and again, that's not all. There's more. Because it's the 4th of July.
That's right. It's got the hits just keep on coming. We have fireworks, of course. I mean, what is 4th of July without fireworks? Fireworks at the clock tower. It's starting this year at 8:30. I think in years past it had started at 9, but we're starting it at 8:30 this year.
All right. And like, who's doing the fireworks? Y'all know?
City of Prattville. Are you talking about the company?
Or no? Like who's the
I
guy?
do not know the.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who has
but-
the lighter? Is that
Right.
What
Yeah.
you're
That's
saying?
who gets the flip the switch.
I have no idea, but I know we have been known for our fireworks show in the past. So.
And that's at 8:30.
Yeah, the director of Parks and Rec,
It's like her
Kelly
thing.
Cook. She is serious about these fireworks, so people can be guaranteed a really great fireworks show.
So this could be an all-day affair. Like
Oh,
9.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, you got to take a cat nap somewhere in there.
Sure.
It's a long day.
Yeah.
Especially after all that barbecue, all those butts.
Oh, yeah.
Like, man, that sounds
Yeah,
good.
it's a lot of butt.
That sounds like some good eating right there.
Yeah,
Come
I'm
join
kind of
us.
excited about it.
So that's all the fun for Independence Day on July 4th.
All the fun. I mean,
And-
like every bit of fun.
But y'all are putting on a whole series of events throughout the summer. We already talked about the farmers market, but you have a summer concert series?
Yeah, so Creek Walk Concerts is out at Spillway Park, right in the middle of historic downtown Prattville. So we had our first one, I guess 2 Tuesdays ago, and our next one is June 25th.
So it's
Okay.
coming up. It's this coming Tuesday. It's really a groovy space too, Joey, because as she said, it's right there by the spillway. So it's picturesque, and you know bring a chair, bring a blanket, and we'll have food trucks there as well, so people can kind of come right after work, have dinner, bring their kids, and just
Yeah, it's free.
It's absolutely free, right? I mean, except for the food trucks, of course.
Right, right.
But yeah, and it's just you can just come down there, hang out, bring a bottle of water, and
There's a
enjoy some
nice
good
breeze from the spillway.
Yeah, it's just
All
really
right.
nice, and this band is really groovy too. It's
Faber Royale and Soul Creation.
yeah. So
Okay. And I guess folks, if they want to, because it's the 25th coming up, but also July 9th and 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
So people can look ahead. Where's the best place for folks to kind of plan ahead, look at all y'all's events?
Yeah, they can look at prattvilleal.gov, but also the Culture Arts Facebook page for Prattville.
Okay. Yeah, I like music. I like food.
We'll see you
I
out
like
there.
festivities. Yeah, like
come on.
I mean, you can try to get me out. Like I'm notoriously reclusive.
Oh, are you?
I'm notoriously a homebody.
I think you're an introverted extrovert. You know,
What does that mean?
means that you're introverted unless somebody gets you out. Then you're extroverted.
No, even when I'm at a place, like actually, if we like sitting here or like, I'm great.
Uh-huh.
As soon as it's like multiple people,
Yeah.
I close off.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well,
a problem.
Well, I'm
If you're in
kind of.
your
I mean,
comfort zone.
I'm kind
I
of a
get you.
homebody too. I mean, if like I have to leave work, go home, and then go back out, it's
Yeah,
probably not
Right.
going to happen. If I go straight from work, maybe.
Right. And well, and also when you got an event plan, I'll go to the event if I plan.
Yeah,
We're
well,
doing the thing.
Absolutely, but yeah.
And it's always great. A free concert is always great.
Absolutely, yeah. And the groovy thing is people can come right after work, so they don't have to go and see that couch.
And are these
looking at them?
Mostly local talents or regional, like the
It's
band?
very local.
Okay.
We have Faye Royale, who is from Prattville, and then the Alex Walker Band is from the area as well. And then we're ending it with the Rock Mob, and we're making an 80s theme.
Oh, right.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, the 80s was a good time.
They told me at the office, that
She's
I could
in
help.
charge.
Yeah, that I'm in charge because I actually lived that, Joey. That's what they
Goodness.
said.
Yeah.
They could have just said, "Well, Martha, you're old, so you do that."
Did you have a favorite band in the 80s? Favorite artist?
Oh golly, so many. I really did love Annie Lennox.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I
The
guess
Eurythmics,
The
yeah.
the
I have
the
no idea who
Eurythmics.
that
Yeah,
is.
I know. And who didn't love Journey, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I know who that is.
Genesis and Yes, nobody knows who they are anymore.
Oh,
but
yeah, no, Genesis is
Phil,
great. Yes,
Phil
it's great.
Collins was Genesis before he was Phil Collins,
Right. Yeah, all these are great acts.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Prince fan. Everybody already knows that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
so,
Prince.
and like I like the 80s. So 80s theme to
Mm-hmm.
finish things off. That's the 23rd of July.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, and it's kind of close to school. Well, not really.
No,
I lied
no.
about that.
But it's right smack dab in the middle of summer, so it's a good way to continue your summer.
Yeah, the band is. Did we say the band is the Rock Mob? Rock Mob.
Rock Mob.
They're really good.
Yeah, maybe they'll get some Journey, like Faithfully on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't stop
We'll
believing.
tell them you requested it.
Well, like there's Journey with Steve Perry and then Journey after Steve Perry.
Yeah, and I've seen both.
Both good though.
In person?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Taylor, that old.
Right. and I
Okay,
believe-
so I have a that old story
Okay.
that doesn't really have anything to do with anything except maybe 80s. So my niece is in film and television, first AD, and so she had to get an old school truck to use on a independent project this week. And she went to get into the truck, and she called me, and she goes, Aunt Martha, can you come help me? And she was trying to unlock the door with the key that starts it. And, back in the day, the square key started the car, the round key unlocked the door. And so I had to say to her, babe, 2 different keys. I was surprised I didn't walk out there and she was just like squeezing it, trying to get it to boot.
Yeah, I don't even know. This is like the phone with the rotary thing.
Really, Joey? Really?
I'm trying to
Careful,
understand.
Martha.
I'm trying to understand.
Throwing you under the bus. That axle's hot.
I'm trying.
It's kind of like the phone with the rotary
Okay,
dial
all right.
and the slide thing for air conditioning, hot, cold.
Right.
It didn't used to be a knob. It was like a slide.
I
don't
didn't know.
even have to get out my key. Sometimes I don't know where it is.
Right,
So I just put
exactly.
my purse next to it and see, okay, no, it's not there.
Right. Yeah, my
Yeah.
niece also has one of those air tags on her keys.
So it sounds like y'all have a great summer planned here
Oh,
for
yeah.
great events.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, don't forget about the farmers market, folks.
Yeah, and we got a lot of kids' activities going on too. We have STEAM Camp, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics all in 1 week.
Awesome.
So yeah, we have WSFA coming out to talk about weather and police and fire department. So we got a lot of fun activities for kids as well if they go on the website.
Well, and it's Let's see here. Oh, July 6th at the farmers market is Main Squeeze theme.
Yes, free basket. It's a basket giveaway that people can come out to the farmers market and register for it. And
we have lemonade out there from Soda Jerk, and
all right,
and customize it.
Yeah.
So there's just so much going on, folks. You got to go check it out. PrattvilleAle.gov.
Yes.
Yeah, and also coming up, Joey, July 11th, 12th night opens with Way Off Broadway Theater.
Oh.
It's a really, really good adaptation. It's a fun adaptation. 12th Night, if people don't already know, is very funny. And the adaptation, he set it in 1930s Mississippi.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's kind of a Oh Brother, Where Art Thou meets The Bard.
Good. I hadn't seen 12th Night in a while. I saw the Octagon. But
it's very funny, and it's a great cast, and they're in rehearsals, and it's going really, really well.
All right, then. So, well, did we miss anything?
Actually, we did. Patriotic Concert is given by the Pops and the Community Chorus, and that is June 30th. So
that's coming up.
That's a free event as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all the classic, like, Sousa stuff? And, okay.
All the patriotic American songs. So
awesome. Well, thank y'all for stopping by.
Absolutely.
And I want folks to get out there, enjoy all these events. Sounds like a great time for, family-friendly, good community fun, and you can also, sneak a butt in or two.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Good to meet you, Mark.
Thank you. Good to meet you
Taylor.
too, Joey.
We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Honey, wake up.
What?
I think something's burning.
I don't smell anything.
I'm gonna go check.
Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Is your home safe? You can't be sure unless you call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of CurrentSafe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Crosby Electric will send a specially trained electrician to your home. Using high-tech equipment, they'll check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to make sure your home is safe.
Well, it appears that we found the culprit. Faulty wiring.
I should have had it checked.
Just be thankful everyone's okay.
For an in-home no-obligation assessment, visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe, know it's safe.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. On this first day of summer, today is the longest day of the year. Officially, it's 1 second longer than yesterday. Hot day with a high around 94, but not crazy on the humidity. And lots of sunshine today. Tonight, slow down to about 72. Tomorrow's high around 95. And once again, the rain chances are running 10% or less today and tomorrow. But over the weekend, a little bit more humid with widely scattered spotty random storms here in the afternoon and evening hours. I think the rain chances are a little higher on Monday with highs mostly in the mid-90s over the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Don't miss our great package deal right now on a 25 horsepower Kubota tractor with front end loader and more. All for 0% APR 84 months with approved credit.
Now through September 30th, 2024. See Capital Tractor or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. Do appreciate Martha and Taylor from the city of Prattville stopping by. Thought that was good fun there, and it should be a good, fun summer. Let's go to the phones and talk to Ann. Hey, Ann, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Joey. I was driving back from Fairhope to Hoover after giving a speech last night, and I heard y'all talking about getting rid of people in office, and I just thought, well, y'all know what? We got a few in Alabama we need to get rid of because of this Working for Alabama, Hunger Games, Alabama, where they going to put us all in districts.
So who's at the top of your list?
Nathaniel Ledbetter.
Ooh. Speaker.
And you're going to have to expound on that a little bit.
We'll expand on who we want to get rid of, or expand on Working for Alabama?
No, the why.
The why, because the legislature is passing laws that will enslave and take away private property rights with these workforce innovation districts. And this thing came down from Obama. It's not working for Alabama. It's working for Obama with Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act that was passed in 2014. And we have maybe 5 or 6 legislators, and they're real easy to find. Just go look at the pictures, that are pushing this thing because somebody's going to be making money. What the first are is follow the money. And Nathaniel Ledbetter, Danny Garrett, Greg Reed, Chris Elliott, and one more, and I can't remember who that, but the Alabama Conservative Coalition has made this list, and we're starting now.
All right. Well, and if folks are interested in the Alabama Conservative Coalition, is there a way they can join up, help with the effort?
Actually, no. You have to join a conservative group in your area.
Okay.
And then the coalition meets twice a year to discuss what we're going to be doing about and what issues we want to target.
How many people were at this event, Ann?
Last night there was about 30, but I've given about 5 times, and most of them run from 50 to 60 people. But, Fairhope is fairly liberal. So, but this was Moms for Liberty down there, and they're growing, and they're part of our coalition. So we have to educate people as to what actually this Working for Alabama is doing. It is Agenda 21, 2030, and 2050, and Obama's fundamental transformation of America. And our legislators are pushing it and trying to keep it under the radar. And we're going to expose it.
Well, I appreciate the call, Ann. I really do. And we got a lot of months before they get back in session and for another election and primary season. But I think running on this now, it's a good idea to create this coalition.
Yep. We got to do it.
How long has the coalition been around?
10 years, maybe more. It started out when the tea parties were shut down and we had no way to communicate. So, let's see, Common Sense, Moms for Liberty, Alabama Legislative Watchdog, Local Alabama, some of the North Alabama people, and we all just decided, okay, we have to know what everybody else is doing so we won't split our votes. So that's what we meet twice a year, and that's what we do.
Cool.
Well, I appreciate you being on top of this and you calling in, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hey, next time she's passing through, if we got 10 minutes, you may want to pick her brain on some other issues or
sure
delve into this a little more.
Let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy.
As long as you don't pick my toes, we're good.
You don't have to worry about that,
Yeah,
brother.
there's no concern on my part with that.
There's no thread on there? Okay, thought there was. Hey, Joey, I just wanted to say that, I think what's going to happen, should Trump win the presidency, there will be violence in the streets.
Which
It will be
streets?
hinted. Huh?
Which streets?
Our streets in this country.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. No, probably Washington, D.C. It's going to be a mess, and maybe a few other parts.
Because they've started
last
talking the rhetoric already. Oh, Trump's going to put you in concentration camps. Trump's going to put you in. I was like, why don't you talk to your Chinese buddies over there who are putting the Uyghurs and making them put Apple products together? Talk about slavery and concentration camps.
They're putting who in concentration camps in China?
What are they called, the Uyghurs?
No, Uyghurs.
Uyghurs, I'm one vowel off.
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing.
That's a big vowel, dude.
Is it a big vowel? Okay.
One is like a Muslim minority in China. The other is some of the people call his show.
Call it show. Okay, whatever. Maybe I'm losing this one because I'm so calm and relaxed today.
You sound relaxed.
Well, I am. I didn't drink no coffee today. But, they've talked so much about what's going to happen, how they're going to start building things up. Remember when they put the fence, was it the fence around the people's house? Was it a 12-foot barbed wire fence?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the threat? The threat. It's the same thing as having a security guard and security all around the Southern Poverty Law Center. There's no threat. There's nothing, but you're going to make the presumption and the image sent out and the message sent that there's violence against us. They're coming against us. The KKK is going to be in 10, 20 dozen horses coming down the street of the Capitol. Man, I'm tired of people doing this, and I think they want violence, Joey.
Yeah, I think
back to
that
movie, the Patriot.
I think yes, violence actually helps the establishment. It gives them more tools to crack down and do what they want to do. And yes, brand their opponents as Nazis, and the Panzer units will be storming DC before you know it if we're not careful.
I just don't think we're the type. We're so much peaceful and loving people. I don't think the conservatives, if should Trump lose, I don't think there's going to be any violence in the streets. There might be some opposition in the courts and lawyers and everything, but if it switches around, they've made it clear that they do not want to relinquish power, period, by any means necessary. Whatever they have to do, they're going to do it.
Well, we'll see. We're very far off from that day. I mean,
well, I don't know if we are, Joey, because the reason why that's why I called it. I've been talking and thinking about it. It's like I listen to their rhetoric every day. I read between the lines what they're saying and they're talking and everything, and it's getting to a point where they've made it clear that he's going to be the president, and that's going to be the end of it. Period. They're not letting go. Remember they said President Trump wasn't going to leave office and da-da-da-da-da?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What do they usually say? When somebody usually says somebody else good, they're the ones that plan on doing it. That's where they got the thought. They're just going to put a different name in front of it and say the conservative is going to be that way.
Oh
But
yeah,
that's not
they
the way it
often
should be.
project what they're actually even up to onto their
Exactly.
opponents. It's a pretty genius, wicked move.
Yeah, I mean, and they've made it so loud and clear. They're saying, "Oh, we're making plans already because when he wins, the conservatives are all going to be upset, and the MAGA people are going to come out in the streets, and it's going to be violence, and we got to get ready for it." I'm like, Jesus, are you freaking? They don't want to lose. They don't want to relinquish power.
Yeah.
Well,
That-
none of
This
them
is the worst
do.
I've ever seen in my freaking 60 years of living on this planet.
Well,
They do not want to let go. Period.
well, like I said, we'll see. We'll also see how their convention goes there. And where is it again?
How
Chicago?
do you think that's going to go, Joey?
Yeah.
What, a new person's going to be nominated?
Well, I don't know what's going to happen inside the convention. Maybe there is a broker convention, but outside the convention, especially with the ongoing Palestinian Gaza protests, all sorts of other stuff, who knows what could happen. But I appreciate the call, Soldier Boy.
All right, thank you, guys.
Joe, do you remember what happened the day after Obama got elected?
Nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I woke up, had a sad face, got up, and went to work.
See, I was only 18, 19. Or I was only 18 or 19 years old. And I remember thinking, well, I didn't vote for the guy, but yeah, maybe it's a good thing for America. Not like his policy and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I bought into the first black president thing. Like, yeah, maybe it'll be good for folks. And it doesn't seem to have helped a whole lot.
I guess I'm just saying I don't think that there's going to be mass, protest or riots, upheaval, regardless of who wins. And if there is some sort of demonstration or propaganda created event, it's going to be funded by someone, and it's going to be feigned outrage and and all of that. Like, as far as organic, true revolt, we're not close to Shay's Rebellion, man.
No, that's not our population anymore,
Not
for better or
anymore.
for worse.
Well, yeah.
This part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And there at Cole Plumbing, James and the team are ready to help you with all your plumbing needs. It could be you've got a big leak that you need fixed, whether inside or outside your home. And they have the proprietary pipelining technology to get that job done in a way that causes little discomfort to you. Minimal discomfort to you in your home. That means they're not going to have to tear out a bunch of drywall or dig up a huge hole to find the leak and fix it. And with precision and expertise, I can get the job done. But it doesn't have to be a huge emergency. Could be, hey, you got a clogged drain or low water pressure. Could be you're noticing maybe it's a tree root invasion, or it could be a gas line leak, or some pump's not working. Or maybe you don't really have a problem other than you want to upgrade to, say, a nicer toilet, maybe even a bidet or a taller toilet, anything that you want to upgrade there in the bathroom area. Or they can just help you upgrade to, say, a tankless water heater system, which is always a great idea. So check out James Cole and Cole Plumbing today. You can always go to coleplumbing.com or give them a call at 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Joe. I was just calling to ask about the name of that coalition.
Believe she said it was the Alabama Conservative Coalition.
Yeah, Conservative Action Coalition, I believe.
Okay. Was there a contact number on that?
No, that's what I was asking about, but I believe she said like Eagle Forum is one partner to it. It's a bunch of the different local Alabama's another partner
Common
to
Sense.
it. Yeah.
And you have to join one of
Okay.
those, and from that you can be a part of the larger coalition, or at least that
Sound
was my
promising, huh?
understanding.
It sounds promising. I want to check it out.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Look at us connecting dots for the, listening
And
audience.
let's do another public service announcement. There's going to be a public listening tour today at 5 p.m. at Dirk's Filet and Vine, and I'm seeing Andrew Szymanski here is going to be there. That should be good. That should be very good indeed.
Got great wine.
Yeah, and they're staying open later than they usually do, so join them there and let your voice be heard to the council.
That's my side of town, man. Come on.
That is your side of town. You are a Cloverdale guy through and
Staple in the
through.
community.
Hmm?
A staple in the community.
Yeah, it really is a staple. Whatever happened to Eddie?
He's meandering around here somewhere.
I wonder sometimes, how long does it take to cut a commercial?
You assume that's all he's doing.
That is what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
I was just wondering where you were.
Cutting commercials, man.
How long does it take to cut a commercial?
I had to cut a couple of them.
Oh. How long does it take to cut a couple of commercials?
Obviously, a little longer than you thought.
Just wondering.
No, well, you got to trim time and then.
Well, I just kept seeing you out in my periphery, and it was messing me up. I'm like, what's that turquoise giant doing?
Got commercials. Working with Jay.
Yeah,
New project
he's a
going.
good guy to work
Oh,
with.
I love Jay. He's the best.
Did you hear about all the Prattville events?
I heard some of them. Me and Jay were kind of making comments about where we'd like to be in Prattville for some of those events.
Yeah?
Yeah, but some of us have to work. But Jay has all the time in the world on the weekends, so I was kind of guilting him into going.
Yeah, the concert series looked fun, and fireworks show, all sorts of stuff.
Always great.
Bro, these food vendors.
Oh, yeah.
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 You know how to get me somewhere.
Yeah, go
The
get
food.
something good to drink, something good to eat.
You got something good fried?
Mm. It is a low-key day. This feels like a low-key
It's the first day of summer, man.
Yeah. First
It's gonna be a
longest
long
day of the year.
It's going to be a long day. Second longer than yesterday.
I know. And that makes a bit of a difference.
I'll take it.
Did you see that MicroStrategy? It's a big software company, publicly traded. It's headed up by a guy named Michael Saylor. And they've been continuing to buy Bitcoin, like backing the company instead of holding cash reserves. They've been buying into Bitcoin. Bitcoin recently had a cooling where some of the mining whales have been selling off. So it's down a little bit, 60-something thousand. Well, when it comes to Michael Saylor MicroStrategy, they see that as a buying opportunity. He just put it out 6 hours ago on the Twitter. This is Michael Saylor directly. MicroStrategy has acquired an additional 11,931 Bitcoin for approximately $786 million using proceeds from convertible notes and excess cash for a average approximately of $65,883 per Bitcoin. So as of as of June 20th, 2024, MicroStrategy holds 226,331 Bitcoin.
How many?
Over 226,000.
Whole Bitcoin.
Yes. Approximately worth $8.33 billion.
Wow.
Keep that up. They can be a member of this new Trillionaires Club I read about this morning.
Yeah, and every time the market cools a little bit, because this makes sense, the miners, there's a thing called the halving, and so the miners don't get as big of a reward. They're saying, hey, with all this computing power we have, we can help with the AI systems that are being built up. But so we need to have some more cash on hand.
Gotcha.
But this happened before with the halvings. Like, they have to rearrange and adjust. And every time it goes down, people like Saylor and a lot of other folks go, buying opportunity.
A lot of people look at the market when it goes down.
Right, and we'll see. We'll see. I think there are some folks who got a nice little boost that jumped into the ETFs. They got a nice little boost, and then they pulled out. But it's not enough to really move the price that much. It's still, again, over $60-something thousand.
Did you see that headline where there was a link to the Trump coin directly to Barron Trump?
Is that right?
I didn't see that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Something to follow.
Yeah, and I just, this world of Bitcoin is, it's fascinating to me how it is growing slowly but surely. And we were talking about this off air. Donald Sutherland has passed away.
Really?
88.
Wow.
Favorite role?
His son, Kiefer Sutherland, just posted this on Twitter. With a heavy heart, I tell you that my father, Donald Sutherland, has passed away. I personally think one of the most important actors in the history of film, never daunted by a role, good, bad, or ugly. He loved what he did and did what he loved. And one can never ask for more than that. A life well lived. That is from his son.
One of my favorite roles was him in Dirty Dozen. And then Kelly's Heroes.
I remember him. We were talking off mic, Animal House. He's the teacher.
Oh, yes, he was in Animal House. I forgot all about that.
Walks out with no pants on. Yeah, it's like, man, that's a reveal.
What's the one where was he in At Pupil? Was that
I don't
him?
know that one. Of course, he was in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger Games. I pulled him up now. Hunger Games. Oh, there's a bunch of them.
Oh, he's in so many different movies.
Moonfall.
MASH, right?
Yeah, he was in MASH.
Yeah.
That was a really good character for him in MASH. think that was a big reason MASH continued on to TV series.
Well, that's sad to hear. But also 88, and
He lived a good
as
life,
Kiefer
man.
said, his son said, life well lived.
You remember Backdraft? He was in Backdraft.
Great movie.
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
272-9228 if you want to hop in on the program. How about this? Let's hit a break early. Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Have you ever considered turning your home into a rental and build wealth at the same time? People throughout the river region are doing that right now. By investing wisely in the right property or turning your current home into a rental is the secret. Hiring a property manager to professionally manage your property is the way to prosperity. Our company does all of the advertising, personally showing prospective tenants, does a thorough background check and credit report before moving forward. Over 15 critical services are provided to our clients in protecting the asset, but also providing the best residence in your home possible. Collecting rent on time and frequent inspections help landlords feel better about renting their house, and to provide clean, well-kept homes that anybody would be proud to call home. For a complete list of property management services, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Summers are fun, so how do you make this summer really stand out? You drive into summer in a new Toyota from Toyota of Montgomery. Make it the most memorable and the most fun summer ever with exceptional offers on the 2024 Toyota Corolla. Now just $207 a month. Or the hot-selling new 2024 Camry, only $285 a month. And the fun for everyone new RAV4, just $315 a month. You don't have to drive in your old car anymore. Toyota of Montgomery is paying up to $5,000 overbook value for your trade-in, so you can have the most exciting summer you've ever had. These hot deals on new Toyotas won't last. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. So get to Toyota of Montgomery today. Online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Corolla LE TSRP 23,923. Camry LE TSRP 30,703. RAV4 LE 31,173. 12,000 miles per year for 36 month lease with $499 due with signing. $0 security deposit with approved credit. Excessive wear, tear, and eligible with trade value plus tax tag title $995 credit in 7/1/2024.
Hey guys, are you looking for a professional and reliable tree service company in the Montgomery and surrounding areas? Well, check out the folks at Tree Masters. It's a name you know and trust. From pruning to full tree removal, they'll even help you remove your shrubs. They service all of Central Alabama, including Lake Martin and Lake Jordan. Call them for a free quote today at 334-676-3638. That's 334-676-3638. Tree Masters.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228 if you want to get on the program. This part of News and Views in the afternoon brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And at Dillon Rings, of course, they are a full-service jewelry shop ready to, help you and all your important matters when it comes to your jewelry. So what do we mean? We mean appraisal. Right. In fact, if you hadn't had that jewelry appraised in a while,
market values have changed dramatically in a few years. So,
absolutely, yeah, that, and they're very good at what they do too. Those appraisals are accurate, and you could even be a market setter. Who knows? Yeah, it could be such a unique piece. Like you never know, folks.
And they could tell you.
Oh yeah, Josh and Leslie can tell you, and of course they do repair work. They're so good. Other jewelers in town send stuff to be repaired by Josh Ryder. They can also do watch repairs, maybe spa treatments.
That's right.
So it's essentially cleaning your jewelry. It'll shimmer and shine like it was brand new. Really beautiful stuff. And we always talk about the custom design work. Now, you can go in there and they have an amazing selection at Dylan Rings, but maybe you have a particular thing you want to try to create. Well, Josh Ryder, the man, is a true brilliant artist. If you can dream of it, Josh Ryder can make it a reality. So you could always go to DylanRings.com or just search for Dylan Rings on Instagram or the Book of Faces. But I really encourage you to stop by that brand new renovated showroom, 119 Brown Springs Road, right here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey and Eddie and Byron, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Coming up at 2 o'clock hour, Jeff Deist will be joining us via the stream. Looking forward to that conversation, as always, with the man, the myth, the legend that is Jeff Deist. But I just got sent this clip, and it's been making the rounds on YouTube. And it's people saying, because, you know, all the theorizing that Biden's actually not going to be the guy. People are sharing this video that was put out yesterday by Michelle Obama, saying, well, I think she's running. Well, let's listen in.
Juneteenth is all about celebrating our collective freedom and fighting to protect it. Our power, our rights, and even our planet are on the ballot this year. So now is the time to think about how you're going to make your voice heard in this election. Head over to whenweallvote.org. Get yourself registered to vote, and then text 3 friends to do the same. Do not sit on the sidelines this year, because this is a critical moment for all of us. Get ready to make your voice heard today.
Yeah, I never feel like my voice is heard when I vote.
I'm just distraught now knowing that the planet's on the ballot.
Yeah, I thought of that too. Like, yeah, what was that? Let's play the beginning.
Solar
again.
system.
Juneteenth is all about celebrating our collective freedom and fighting to protect it. Our power, our rights, and even our planet are on the ballot this year.
And I love that word, by the way, collective freedom. Our collective freedom.
Not your individual freedom.
Not real freedom. Right.
Yeah, right. The collective that we manage. And you don't have a voice unless you join the group that we force you to join.
You got to be a part of the group.
Well,
right.
They taught us that with COVID. Get your vaccine shot.
Oh,
You
yeah.
cannot be in our group anymore.
See, but people are sharing this going, oh, she's running. That's not evidence of her
Michael ain't
running. Like that, it's just.
He ain't running.
Like that's just a get out the vote thing.
Right.
Yep.
And get a pretty standard one. And of course, every comment's bringing up Big Mike underneath. Goodness gracious. This day and age that we live in. Yeah, and before I would have been like, because those rumors go way back, that Michelle Obama's a man, and I would just be like, oh, go away. And people send a photo, I'm like, it's clearly photoshopped. And then all the trans, like, activist stuff starts, and you're like, well, you got to leave it open as a possibility now.
Looking back, you're like, well.
You know, Tucker Carlson interviewing Larry Sinclair, like all this stuff where you're just like, and hey, I have it on, let's say, good authority that Larry Sinclair came across as genuine.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
Well, look at all that trans positive action that's happened since Obama.
Yeah, but also people, they were pushing this in the early aughts. And everybody's like, what's this crazy thing the left's pushing? That'll never happen.
Yeah.
And now you've got like men pretending to be women winning championships in sports and stuff.
Yeah, it's about to wrap up.
I do love the backdoor way that we've kind of protected, or championed Title IX and kind of forced them into a catch-22 situation. Like, what's it going to be, fellas or people? You're going to have your cake, eat it too.
Right.
You're going to be a woman. You're going to protect females. Where you at?
Right. So I just don't. A lot of people say Michelle Obama. I heard Vivek say that during the debates. I just don't see it as Michelle Obama.
I don't think, for one, I don't think she wants it, but for two, I don't think she wants her credibility tainted in such a way it would.
Right.
Yeah.
Now maybe she doesn't have a choice. Maybe some of these folks actually don't have a choice. They get strong-armed.
She doesn't have any individual liberty, so she's got to play her role.
Oh, the collective freedom.
Collective, yeah.
Yeah, your voice and your power. It's just like, no, every time I go to vote, I feel like, when you watch the Australian shepherds herd sheep? Yeah, I feel like one of the sheep.
I always kind of felt like she wore the pants of that family anyway. So.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, this is Dennis. Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Dennis. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, pretty good. That whole stick that she used just then, that whole spill reminded me of a very popular show called Star Trek: The Next Generation when he was talking about the Borg and resistance is futile.
Yes, that was true. I even got the data.
The collective, be part of the collective.
Yep.
Resistance is futile. So that's a very scary thing. But I don't see no other choice. They're going to have to do something because Joe, he don't even know where the hell he's at. I don't think half the time.
I think it's most of the time. Yeah, most of the time.
So, and this was predicted 6 or 7 months ago that somebody may step up and take the nomination, or they're going to take somebody else to put in the VP spot because they know Kamala is not going to be able to come step up and replace him. Nobody will have it. So.
Well, maybe though Trump will start saying on the stump that I will be your locutus, when Picard became, Yeah, that could maybe work. I don't know, for the nerds.
Well, how are they going to
resistance is futile?
How are they going to sidestep the vice president? Because she's not going to be in his spot. How are they going to smooth that over?
What has she got positive on her record that they could possibly use?
Nothing
except that the Republicans won't just rip to shreds,
but
and her along with it.
She's a black woman. That's what they got. That's
really,
yeah.
So she claims to be.
That's what they got, and certain times of year that sells pretty good.
I would not think that color doesn't matter to me. I don't care if she's polka dot if she's going to do her job.
Right.
She ain't done her damn job.
Right.
So, and neither has the president. And I don't care if he's striped like a zebra, as long as he does his job and take care of we the people. But apparently they don't have that concept anywhere in the Democrat Party.
They do not.
So, I think they need to just rip them to shreds come November. And if that's what they're going to preach is to go to this website, hey, Republicans need to follow suit. They need to set up a website where people can register to vote. Alabama already has that in place, guys. So register to vote and get out and vote. Otherwise, you may be raising your hand to the Fourth Reich, Fuhrer Biden, if you don't.
Well, I'll be sure. I don't want to have to deal with pudding pants there. I appreciate it, Dennis.
Yes, sir. Have a good day, guys.
Take care, Dennis.
I hadn't heard the term Democrat Party in a while.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Michelle Obama. I want to let everyone know I'll be doing I'll be doing a fundraiser at.
You sound very different than the video we just played, Michelle.
Yeah. Did you call
healthy,
it earlier
good,
today?
Healthy. It's a healthy meal, son. Healthy meal. I live sunshine, exercise, rest. Hey, Joey. Yeah, man. I just is she really? Is she going to put up with the abuse? Can she?
No, I don't.
Just amazing.
I don't think it's going to be her.
Yeah, I just don't think it's
I mean, anything's possible at this point, but I just don't think it's her.
I don't think so either. The only other thing, I saw that on the news, our Chief Bailey, whatever, Daryl, he's got him a new job in Austin, Texas. And I just remember late 90s, I started off at White Sands, and I'd progressed over to Austin doing some work. But I remember just the time I spent in Austin, the signs are there. Keep Austin weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking, he'll fit right in. So good luck to him in his future.
And you said it's Chief Albert, yeah.
Albert, I'm getting, sorry. Chief Albert.
Well, he's got some challenges ahead of him over there.
Well, he's just applied. I don't think it's been accepted.
Oh, man, no, I think they got the job, but
okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Anyways, yeah, man, there's a lot of, anywhere you are, and if you're responsible in charge of a police force right now, you can it's a rough time. But
yeah, I'm looking at the WAKA headline, former police chief applies for police chief position in Austin.
Oh, okay. Well, I will tell you what, I will look into it and get back with you with updated information. How about that?
Right, Sam.
Okay. Thanks for the show, guys.
See you, buddy.
What was that?
My buddy. Buddy.
No, the way you said it.
Buddy.
Yeah. Are you
saying goodbye? See you, buddy.
I had a little tinge of South Park.
Yeah, I was about to say. As is tradition?
Yeah, guy.
Guy?
I'm not your buddy, guy.
Pal. Yeah, if you call me your pal, we better be friends.
Yeah, okay, Chief.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold your horses, Sport.
Sport and Junior.
I got you,
Junior.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got this top of the hour break upcoming. Jeff Dice again joining us via the stream, hopefully. And this entire second hour has been brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and her team are ready to help you, well, with that home purchase of yours.
Right.
Battling Can, of course, can help you as well. Or it could be it's not just a home purchase. It's maybe a refinance deal you want to get done. Or it could be you have a question, like we were talking about the other day, where it's like, hey, why is my mortgage payment supposedly going up?
Yeah, you're getting a lot of that right now. A lot of that from people. And
Right.
they're thinking it's their mortgage payment. They're calling their mortgage company. The mortgage company's saying, well, it's not us. Every
Yeah,
time
is
it's
it
not
property
us.
taxes or is it insurance?
Insurance.
Yeah.
There you go, Joey.
Yeah, and so they can help you with all that stuff there at Alabama Home Mortgage. If you are under a mountain of credit card debt, a refinance deal is a great idea if you have equity built up in your home. And even with rates a little higher than what they have been the last few years, it can still be the right time to buy, especially for you. You can't look at national headlines and make your own economic decisions. You got to look at your own hearth and home, literally sometimes. And of course, they can help you do that there at Alabama Home Mortgage. So call them up today. That number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Like Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368 at Equal Housing Lender.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. An Alabama man wanted in connection with multiple homicides in Oklahoma has been apprehended in Arkansas. 50-year-old Stacy Lee Drake has been taken into custody in a wooded area in Morriltown, Arkansas. 7 people wounded in a shooting in Philadelphia. It happened just before 6:30 p.m. local time Wednesday in North Philadelphia. The victims ranged in age from 16 to 47 years old. Police say all are in stable condition. No arrests have been made. More than 3,000 nurses at 6 Oregon hospitals have spent a second day on the picket lines as they continue to demand fair wages and better nurse-to-patient ratios. That strike scheduled to run through today. The Dow had 382 points, but the NASDAQ is losing 104. This is SRN News.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you achieve prosperity and peace of mind.
Weather is brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
Your health and well-being can quickly be impacted by changing weather. The Johnny Adams Law Firm wants you to remain safe and be weather alert with the Rich Thomas Weather Network.
Well, hi, everybody. On this first day of summer, today is the longest day of the year. Officially, it's 1 second longer than yesterday. Hot day with a high around 94, but not crazy on the humidity. And lots of sunshine today. Tonight, slow down to about 72. Tomorrow's high around 95, and once again, the rain chances are running 10% or less today and tomorrow. But over the weekend, a little bit more humid with widely scattered spotty random storms here in the afternoon and evening hours. I think the rain chances are a little higher on Monday with highs mostly in the mid-90s over the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply for your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
1819 News.
A Democratic special primary that was held this past Tuesday is now requiring a runoff election. The special primary election was to fill the seat of House District 52. State Representative John Rogers had to resign from that seat this past March following felony fraud charges. There were 6 Democrat candidates in this primary, none of which received a majority vote. Now Frank Woodson and Kelvin Datcher will face off in a runoff election that'll be held July 16th. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
Africanized honeybees have now been found in 2 different counties, Jackson and St. Clair. The Alabama Department of Agriculture and Industries is guiding beekeepers on identifying and managing those bees, and also urging the public to report any suspicious bee activity. These bees are much more aggressive and pose a greater risk to humans and animals. Here's a state official speaking to Fox 10 TV News.
There's railroad tracks that run right next to this location, so it's very possible those bees swarmed onto a train, and that train brought those bees here.
ADAI is collecting samples to monitor the situation and to protect local bee populations. You can contact ADAI if you encounter aggressive bee behavior. Willie Mays, the legendary Say Hey Kid and one of baseball's greatest players, has died at the age of 93. Mays began in the Negro Leagues and became a Hall of Famer, batting .301 with 660 home runs. Mays' 1954 World Series over-the-shoulder catch is iconic. He played mostly for the New York Giants and inspired generations. Mays was given the Medal of Freedom back in 2015. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hey, miss, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon, or as we're calling this thing online, Joey Clark Live, here on the first day of summer. It's been a relaxed first day of summer, and I'm happy to welcome on our next guest to the program, the one, the only Jeff Deist, joining us via stream. Jeff, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, Joey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Life is going well. I saw your memo, by the way, that I should get a dog. What do you think the benefit of that would be?
Well, look, over the weekend, I saw the missive from the Humane Society or the particular shelter in Montgomery talking about how many dogs and cats they have. And it's just concerning. And, there really is a connection between the slowing economy and people turning in pets to shelters, which is kind of grim to think of. And it happens in the larger animals too, with horses and such, where the care and maintenance and vet bills can really climb for people. So that just, as a big dog lover, I just wanted to get that out there.
Wait, you don't like cats?
Yeah, I do like cats. I don't like litter boxes.
That's fair. Yeah, they're disgusting. But no, I want to go save one. Honestly, I'd like to save them all. But yeah, the fallout, sometimes we think of the economy in terms of numbers and this percentage up, this percentage down. But you look at the actual human cost and then the cost to these, creatures that all they do for the most part is love you. It is sad to see, and they are overloaded, all the humane shelters here in Alabama.
Well, what you tend to see is people reduce spending on the margins, on the less core things. So for most people, that would be a vacation, or perhaps less fancy one, a country club membership, that sort of thing. dining out as opposed to eating at home. I mean, these are kind of the dominoes that begin to fall. And I think that the powers that be are going to have a real hard time selling the economy in this general election in the fall as healthy and robust. But we've entered an era now where, unlike James Carville back in the 90s when he was advising Bill Clinton, said, well, it's just the economy, stupid. It feels like we've entered an era where it's more than the economy. People vote on other things.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, keep going.
No, I mean, there are people who will vote on abortion, for example, and that'll be that. But it sure seems to me like there's a lot of signs that people have in their day-to-day personal lives that are worrisome when it comes to their own finances.
Well, and it does seem like there is a huge campaign, though, the whole old line lies, damn lies and statistics, that people have gotten so used to the idea of, oh, look, my portfolio went up 30% or something. And they're not thinking through that, well, did you actually gain value, or is that just more money being created out of thin air? And like I'm seeing headlines, for instance, oh, the dollar's still king relative to all other currencies, but you're still losing value over time. And it's almost like folks have gotten used to this fact.
Absolutely. And as Americans, we benefit very much from having the world's strongest currency. No doubt about that. But that strength is relative to other currencies. And what we really care about is how far it goes with respect to our mortgage, our rent, our food, our vehicles, all those kinds of things. So that's what matters to people. And I think they're feeling that. And let's not forget that the return on any investment, whether that's your stuff you have in your 401k, whether that's your mutual funds, whether that's a particular stock or bond you happen to own, you got to measure that not only against the fees you might pay a broker and the taxes you might pay Uncle Sam, but you also have to measure it in real terms against inflation. And we've been sleepwalking for a long time, basically from about the early 80s, the end of the Volcker era, maybe 1982, all the way till about 2022. That's a long time, Joe. That's 40 years. We were basically told and reliably informed by our friends at the Fed and certainly Treasury officials that inflation was very, very low, and consumer price inflation of this target of 2% a year was happening, and that everything was swell. And so when you enter this new environment, which really kicked in 2022 with all the COVID stimulus, and that's when we really saw prices go up. Unfortunately, you got to talk to people over maybe age 50 who've ever even experienced this.
Right. And I think I'm sensitive to it because, my love of, say, Austrian economics and that school of thought and how to think about these matters. But it does shock me that very smart people in my life are still look at, things like the stock market or the value of their home. And there can be an increase in underlying value. There can be, but they don't seem to be wise to. I had an uncle of mine I respect dearly. He's like, well, we can always create more money. And I'm like, and you thus steal from everybody else. And that's not stealing. I'm just amazed that folks haven't thought through the infrastructure that doesn't actually address the problems they claim to. I'd throw another one in, TARP and the whole bailout programs. The big banks have only gotten bigger, and it creates more, I think, moral hazard and systemic risk. So I'm just amazed that more folks don't understand this.
Well, the number of banks, especially independent, smaller regional and local banks in America, has shrunk precipitously. You go back to the Depression era, there were far more banks, thousands more local banks than there are in the US today. We've seen tons of consolidation. And what we find with those banks, and this may be your friendly little, I won't mention any of the banks I use here in Auburn, but this isn't some big faraway B of A or something that you view as too big to fail and destined for a bailout. Even your friendly local bank or credit union, the wise powers that be at those banks probably hold a lot of U.S. Treasuries on their balance sheet, because what else are they going to do with depositor money? They're supposed to safeguard it and grow it. And what's safer than a U.S. Treasury? Well, it used to be that was almost like holding dollars, except it paid interest, right? So why wouldn't you hold them? And in the period up to, again, about 2022, the U.S. Treasuries were paying more than other kinds of government bonds you could buy. Certainly Euro bonds, for example, paid negative interest rates. at a time not so long ago. So it seemed like a very safe thing to do. So your local banker was not going out and investing in a bunch of risky mortgage-backed debt or anything like that. They weren't going out and buying Sam Bankman-Fried's company. They weren't buying Bitcoin or Tesla shares. They were being conservative. Well, all of a sudden, the Fed comes along and raises rates precipitously. So now they're holding a bunch of U.S. Treasury bonds that pay 1.5% or 2%. And any Tom, Dick, or Harry can go out and get a U.S. Treasury bond that pays 5 or 6. Well, guess what? It means your friendly local bank is technically insolvent if they actually had to mark what they call mark to market in accounting, if they actually had to account for their bonds at the current fair market value. And so what that means is if a bunch of people were to get wind, a bunch of investors, depositors were to get wind that that bank were in trouble and say, gee whiz, I'm going to go demand my money, they wouldn't be able to raise the cash by selling the treasuries they have to satisfy those demands. So it's one of those little stories that's bubbling below the surface of bank failures in the US, but it is there. And I would encourage everybody to think about it a little bit. Take a look at the bank you use, take a look at what's called its Texas ratio, and also consider having more than one bank, having some of your assets divvied up amongst more than one in case, God forbid, your particular local bank happens to get in trouble.
Again, folks, we're talking to Jeff Deist. He is currently the general counsel there at Monetary Metals, was Mises Institute president for about a decade there, also a former chief of staff to Ron Paul. And, lately, I would say the inheritor of the mantle, liberty, in the Congress, the inheritor of, say, the Ron Paul mantle, Thomas Massey, has been making a lot of waves lately. I think he's ingenious to have that. In many ways, he's ingenious. That debt clock that he created himself, that coded himself, I think just brilliant. But he's recently come under a lot of fire for principled stance. In particular, we haven't talked about this much, how much he is being blasted by AIPAC right now and the Israeli lobby. Is this just a reality of Washington? If you go out of step, even for principled reasons, say no foreign aid, you're just going to be on blast by the folks in the donor class? Oh, absolutely. That is a reality. And his primary opponents get funded as a result of that. Every 2 years, the interventionist powers that be run somebody against him for that very reason. This is no secret. And when I say primary, it's because he happens to represent an overwhelmingly Republican district. So that the primary tends to be his biggest hurdle. Ron Paul faced this back in the day. He was reviled by the neocon Republican establishment for his anti-war and anti-interventionist stances. So he had the same thing. I mean, this is just par for the course. But I do think that what's changed is that more people are aware of it now. It's more transparent. Got social media, and Massey's out there talking about it, and people are noticing. Well, and he just seems like this is the guy that I would want representing me. If I want anybody representing me, he's brilliant in many ways. He actually has technical proficiency, know-how. That short documentary came out a few years ago. All the ways he's updated his house himself is just remarkable. And yet that sort of guy doesn't get a lot of respect in Washington. And, every category of things we talk about, like including our conversation about the fragility in the banks, it seems like when things are going wrong, there's actually cui bono. Somebody is benefiting from these sort of fragilities, these sort of systems. And I'm just wondering who does benefit in the end? Like, who is actually running the show here? Well, I don't think we should ever ascribe to conspiracy what we can more easily ascribe to self-interest. Fair. Right. And there's the old saying that it's hard to convince a man of something when his paycheck depends on him believing the opposite. And so a lot of this is just inertia. I mean, the banks are accustomed to having basically riskless income, right? Courtesy of the Fed and courtesy of the Treasury Department. For one, the military contractors are just accustomed to having a gigantic cash cow in the form of Uncle Sam buying their military hardware, and without much accountability. We've all heard these horror stories of accounting and audits at the Pentagon. And then there's a whole professional lobbyist class that's accustomed to making very good money
whether that's in Montgomery or in Washington, D.C., by surrounding themselves, near the trough. And when you bring up Massey, I mean, here's a guy who is an MIT PhD. He developed some early VR, virtual reality tech, which he sold and became a wealthy guy at a very young age. And since then, he's gotten into developing his property in Kentucky, and he's almost a gentleman farmer. This strikes me as the kind of guy who's got a real world viewpoint, because he doesn't come from being a lawyer or a lobbyist or someone who came up through the ranks of politics, city council, mayor, state rep, all that. He hasn't spent his life in politics. And to me, this is the ideal of the citizen representative. And we have anything but that if you look at most of Congress.
Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of administrative lawyers up there. And I guess that's a smart thing to study if you want to operate in Washington, but they do seem to lack a certain perspective. Now, of course, yesterday I interviewed somebody from the Alabama Mises Caucus talking about the Libertarian Party. I will, because I'll interview everybody, be interviewing Chase Oliver in a couple weeks just to see what the guy has to say and the message he wants to share now that he's the nominee of the LP. But, I was watching the other day and I saw Dave Smith saying, why wouldn't somebody like Tom Woods or somebody like Jeff Dice run for president, say as the LP nominee? And I mean, I kind of can anticipate the answer, but would you ever think about doing something like that?
Well, I thought Dave was interested in this sort of thing.
Right.
He's famous. But, we don't have a parliamentary system in the U.S. And if we did, I think you'd see not just third, but fourth, fifth, and sixth parties coalesce and come together and have representation in Congress, and then build coalitions on single issues, appropriations, maybe certain military things, certain foreign policy decisions. I think that might be very, very interesting. But as it is, we've got this terrible system where third parties just cannot really get any leverage in national elections, even really statewide elections, but certainly statewide elections for federal office. And the reason for this is that the Constitution is actually pretty darn quiet on how the party system will operate in DC. It basically says that the House and Senate can operate under the rules they establish and choose. There's nothing in the Constitution about, which is the majority party. There's nothing about parties at all. There's nothing about, who controls what votes. There's nothing about who controls what committees. And so we have this system, and Thomas Massey talks about it a lot. The former representative from Michigan, Justin Amash, writes about this a lot. If you're just an average guy or gal and you manage to get sent to Congress, you have a very stark choice. Either play along and try to move your way up by doing a lot of fundraising, voting with the party on almost everything, and trying to get a higher and better committee assignment, playing the game and voting correctly, or you can go Thomas Massey's way and basically be a pariah. And when you consider that in the context of a third party candidate, it's almost an absolute non-starter. And I know that Dave Smith has gotten a lot of notoriety. Obviously, he's a very famous comedian, but he's also on the Rogan show a lot. And he's really, his brand has really elevated in the last couple of years. So he's got some fame. And, I think at the end of the day, he really want to spend a year driving around in an RV and running for president. I think his answer was no.
Yeah, no, and I'd imagine his wife might kill y'all if you actually made that decision. Like, it does affect quality of life to do that, even for, I think, a noble messaging campaign. But it's something's got to give here. Maybe we'll see something with Trump. Gun to my head, I would go with Trump. I know Alabama's going with Trump. I love that he's all of a sudden fallen in love with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and he's floating all sorts of things. I believe one thing you picked up on in the Twitter world is Trump saying, let's get rid of the income tax and go to only tariffs. Would you make that trade?
If it could be made in an absolute manner, yes. Without any waffling, yes, I would. And let's not forget that in the first 140 odd years of this country's history, basically the national government, the federal government, used tariffs to finance itself. And the thing about tariffs is that they have I would argue, a less distortive effect than an income tax. There's a deep moral question to involved in taxing someone on, going out and creating the means to support themselves and their family. I think there's maybe almost a philosophical difference between that and a tariff. But I think what we'd end up with is we'd have tariffs and we'd still have the income tax, because at first they'd say, well, we're going to get rid of the income tax on everybody who makes less than 400,000. We can't, these fat cats still have to pay. Right. And that was very much the way that in the 1910s, that the original income tax was sold to the public, and the 16th Amendment passed, was that, hey, this is going to be something that only affects the super rich. And at that time, that was actually true for the first couple of years. The a tax return was a postcard. And it was very, very, very simple. There wasn't really any compliance burden or CPAs and all that stuff. So that's the way they sold it. It's just this simple tax on these really rich fat cats to help pay for X, Y, and Z. And then we all know since then that it has become an absolute behemoth that we all have to deal with. So I have a really hard time trusting in that kind of political promise. But yes, if you're, conceptually, I would take that over an income tax.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me for, I think, those moral reasons you brought up, but it would have to be a full repeal of that income taxing power. But, there are some ideas. In particular, Ron Paul is the guy who popularized In the Fed. Of all people, at that Turning Point action thing that happened recently, Steve Bannon is yelling In the Fed in a fire and brimstone speech. Wow. I find it's fascinating how some of the populists, including somebody like a bomb thrower like Bannon, is picking up on sort of the old Ron Paul ideas.
Well, I think Ron deserves a lot of credit for that, but also it's the inflation. I mean, if you want to turn these sort of Byzantine complex machinations of the Treasury Department and the Federal Reserve Bank into a populist issue, that sounds hard. That sounds wonkish. But if people are feeling pain, and man, oh man, all you have to do is go to the meat section at Walmart. I mean, you will really see. I mean, that's why we have freezers and just buy stuff on sale. Right? Yeah, because that's the way to go. And so it is interesting that Bannon was talking about that. It is interesting that it's become a right wing, I guess, talking point of sorts. And I'm happy to see it. I think inflation and monetary policy are really the sleepers, the big unwritten stories of the past, 50 years.
Well, and I think the other big shift is on the question of war. Now, I don't think it's as principled as you or I would like, but there are a lot more folks on the right. There are several congressmen here in Alabama. We have those more bolden to say military interests, but you have others like Barry Moore that are great against the latest wars. Should the United States continue to be involved in, say, Ukraine and all over the place, is there an immense cost to this that people just aren't seeing?
Well, of course, my very strong opinion is no, we should not be. But you don't have to take it from me. I think if you did honest polling in this country on those two questions, again, this dovetails with the economy itself. I think you would find very, very little appetite for the spending that we're doing with Ukraine, with Israel, whatever it might be. I think you'd find very little appetite. But when you talk about the hidden costs, I mean, first of all, there's an inflationary element to this because we're spending huge, more than $1 trillion annual deficits. And as I know you've mentioned on your show, interest on the national debt is now $1 trillion a year. So we're spending way more than we're taking in taxes, which means that we either have to borrow or print to cover the difference. Both of those in their own ways, separate ways, but in their own ways have inflationary effects that ultimately, I would argue, trickles down to, again, that meat section at Walmart. So there's that. But also, I mean, we have, weapon systems now, which are wildly more expensive in real terms than ever existed, in the Vietnam era or the World War II era. We have VA promises we've made to a lot of young people, well, they're not as young anymore, who've come back from Iraq and Afghanistan, and they have an entitlement, and I think we ought to honor it, to lifetime VA care. And as morbid as this sounds, a lot of injuries and wounds that would have been fatal, given the medical tech of past wars, people now survive. But
And
they need a lifetime of care.
Well, and I think it's fascinating, too, how the means and methods to, say, pacify a population overseas, say, we got to fight ISIS, so let's stop ISIS online, or we need to push back against Russia encroaching, so let's have, the Ukraine have a color revolution. It seems like those tactics that the State Department uses, the CIA uses, are being brought home and being used on Americans now.
No, absolutely. We've seen this time and time again. Great professor at George Mason named Chris Coyne wrote a book called War Comes Home. And it goes into everything from the militarization of police departments, with these gigantic military type vehicles and all this SWAT gear and assault rifles, and all the way to interrogation techniques, torture techniques, waterboarding, disappearing people into black sites without charge, without bringing them before a court. I mean, there's a million ways that, war abroad sort of desensitizes us to the realities at home. So it's a real problem. And let's not forget that, this country seems to need a boogeyman. We had the Soviets for so long, and then they were talking about it. Well, there's going to be a peace dividend. And then all of a sudden 9/11 happens. And the neoconservatives in both parties managed to gin up support for this war on terror. And that becomes the new animating feature, right? Because we don't have the Soviets to worry about anymore. And that seems to have run out of steam a little bit. Some of our memories from 9/11 are getting a little long in the tooth, and terrorism doesn't seem to be too rampant. And so now we have anything from COVID to Putin to Gaza to keep us preoccupied. And as a result of all this, I'll tell you what, it sure seems like we have let things go at home.
Yeah, it does seem that way. I always appreciate your time. If folks want to check out what you're up to these days, how can they do so, Jeff?
Well, they can go to my company's website, Monetary Metals, just monetary-metals.com, to learn about how we're bringing money back, or just follow me on Twitter, all one word, @JeffDeist.
Well, thank you, Jeff, and let's get breakfast or lunch. Well, let's do a thing sometime.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joey.
Thank you, sir. Again, folks, Jeff Deist, always great having him on the program here. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, and they're at the Goodson Group. Bo and his team are ready to help you with, buying or selling a home here in the Montgomery surrounding areas. Bo has been working in the River Region real estate market for over 40 years. I think it's actually getting close to 50. And so all that experience there, he's going to steer you in the right direction. And it's not just buying or selling. Should you want to convert a current home to a rental investment or buy another rental investment, it's a great idea in this market. But if you don't have experience managing property, why not have the Goodson Group do it for you for a reasonable fee? And then the crown jewel there at the Goodson Group is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed and accredited here in the state because of Bo's 4+ decades of experience, as well as it's being an interactive course. A lot of folks have graduated from the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, gone on to be successful, fully licensed realtors, or more knowledgeable private players. So check them out today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor here of News and Views in the afternoon.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Right now, get the hottest offers on the hottest luxury vehicles. Drive into summer with 1.9% APR financing on new Lexus models, or drive the new Lexus IS 300 only $369 a month, or the 2024 ES 350 now just $499 a month. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. Get the lowest Lexus payments now at Lexus of Montgomery, part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Number 5130706 RC036027. 5,000 miles per year, 36 months with 3,999 due in signing. With approved credit, expires 6/30/24 plus tax and fees.
Bates House of Turkey is celebrating their first anniversary in Montgomery and 100 years in business with a renovated Montgomery location. Come enjoy the famous hickory smoked turkey sandwiches, the old-fashioned roast turkey dinners, and their expanded grab-and-go frozen casseroles and soups. There's plenty of room for small groups in in the expanded dining room. Order online at BatesHouseOfTurkey.com. Dine in, carry out, and delivery services available. Bates House of Turkey in Montgomery is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eat turkey, feel perky.
Montgomery Men's Health exists for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At Montgomery Men's Health, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for years. Our friendly, discreet team of medical providers will take the time to listen. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Book your appointment now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Did you know that 1 in every 3 people are expected to be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime? 1 in 3. That is an astonishing statistic that impacts almost everyone. The Cancer Wellness Foundation of Alabama serves cancer patients in the River region and gives help and hope to those who need assistance on the road to recovery. This is where we come in. Blue Water Broadcasting asks you to join us in our Operation Help and Hope. We're collecting items to go in Chemo Comfort care bags that are offered to all new cancer patients. Items we are collecting include new in-packaging fuzzy socks, Boost nutritional drinks, blankets, digital thermometers, hard candy, pill boxes, travel-size tissues, hand sanitizer, lip balm, puzzle books, and pens. Starting June 24th, bring your donation to any of our sponsor locations: Kickback Ranch and Event Center, Mobility Plus Millbrook, Riverside Chevrolet, and Shashy's Bakery and Fine Foods. Donate what you can. Operation Help and Hope from Blue Water Broadcasting.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It has felt like summer for several weeks, but now it's official. And if you have evening plans, I think we're dry tonight. I've got the rain chances 10% or less tonight and also tomorrow. Low tonight, 72. Friday's high around 95. And over the weekend, a little bit more tropical moisture. So those spotty, random afternoon and evening storms will start to pop up again. Maybe a little higher on the rain chance by Monday, but high temperatures will be in the mid-90s each of the 3 days. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Always appreciate the time with Jeff Deist, both Eddie and Byron here in the studio with me. And this part of the program brought to you by, again, Dylan Rings. And I just want to read something. If you go to Dylan Rings' Instagram, you'll see this post and you'll see this photo of this lovely lady. I believe her name is Leslie.
I believe you're right.
And I think her husband, Josh, of course, it's Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dylan Rings, wrote this up for Leslie. He says, happy birthday. To the extraordinary woman who brings sparkle into my life every day, my beautiful wife, Leslie, may your special day be filled with love, laughter, and all the dazzling jewels your heart desires. Cheers to another year of shining together. Well, happy birthday, Leslie. Leslie Ryder, they're working with her husband, Josh. They have a great store, and they're just good folks. They really are staples in the community.
Really
and so I hope you have an amazing birthday, Leslie.
Have a great birthday, Leslie.
Well, you know what can help with an amazing birthday?
What's that, man?
Stopping by Dylan Rings.
Oh, but of course.
Yeah, go celebrate the birthday with them.
Get a present from Dylan Rings.
Yeah,
There you
exactly. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, that's
all about
that's how
Treat
it's
Yourself
said.
Day.
Yeah, it could be you want to get some everyday jewelry, like stuff that doesn't break the bank, doesn't break your heart if it breaks, or gets a little messed up going to the beach or hiking or whatever you're out doing, but still looks great. Or they have high-end items as well there and everything in between. And of course, again, they can do custom design work, repairs, including watch repairs, even pearl stringing, which I still want to watch him do that. How do you take those little pearls and string them together?
I know.
Like, the man is a true artist, Josh is, but he's also a bit of a mad scientist, folks. They really are fantastic folks there at Dylan Rings. Again, happy birthday, Leslie. And y'all need to stop by. Go at least wish her a happy birthday at 119 Brown Springs Road, right here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie and Byron, for those fellas on the radio, sent you. Let's go to Josh. Hey, Josh.
What's happening, Josh?
Hey, gentlemen. How we doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, I wanted to call earlier. You mentioned about Smokehouse becoming a sponsor and everything, and that's been a staple in the Millbrook community since I was a little child. And I'm 41 years old, but no, I believe it's the Azars that own it now. It is a delicious place to eat. They got great food. The smoked wings are awesome. Chef salad is awesome. So I'm glad y'all picked them up, and people need to try them out.
Well, and they're back to the original recipes. Really, the breakfast we had this morning was amazing. At first, when I'm like, wait, we're getting breakfast at a barbecue place, I'm glad we went, because those cheese grits are the best I've ever had.
I've had in a long, long time, man.
Really amazing stuff, and I'm going to get back there very soon for trying out their barbecue. Maybe just get a sampler of everything they got.
Yeah.
That's what.
Well, you won't be disappointed. I can promise you, Joey. It's good eats. You know, coming from a chef to tell you that, it's really good eats.
Yeah.
They changed it around. It swapped hands a couple times, but no, what they're doing right now is jam up. So, will not be disappointed.
Well, beautiful. I'm glad you're happy, and yeah, they're bringing it back to its glory. And given what I ate today, I think they're already there. It's really amazing.
It was glorious.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Enjoy the show. Y'all have a good evening.
You too, Josh.
Appreciate it,
Thank you,
Josh.
buddy.
272.
Get Josh to come by there with us.
Yeah, man.
That'd be good.
I could eat all of it.
Well, I know what I'm doing after this.
Yeah.
Working already. Joey.
Be sure to tell them Joey and Eddie.
That's right.
I will.
Yeah, my goodness. I'm hungry again already. I could have gotten the Fat Boy breakfast, which is an actual menu item. It's a sampler of all their breakfast
Everything,
menus.
including those big old pancakes.
And the pancakes are the size of a huge plate.
Yeah.
It had 3 eggs with it as well, hash browns, cheese grits. Like, it was a Fat Boy breakfast.
It was a Fat Boy breakfast.
I know people love pancakes, but when you got all that other delicious stuff on the plate, pancakes are just kind of a distraction.
Yeah, but what if you mix it together?
Yeah, make them
like get a sausage, like a little bite of sausage with maybe even Kaneka with some egg,
syrup in there.
and then on the pancake all in one bite.
That's what my biscuits for, man.
Okay, well they got great biscuits
They
too.
do.
That's what I got this morning. It was really good.
I feel like I'm cheating on my biscuit with a pancake.
Taste the biscuit.
Taste the biscuit, yeah. Taste the honey sauce. Mixes with my chicken wing.
That's right.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is David.
Hey, David.
Hey, David.
Hey, I meant to call you earlier. I kind of got tied up. Y'all were discussing the walk-on music for Trump and Biden.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking Living on a Prayer for Trump, Bon Jovi.
Living on a Prayer.
I like that. That could be a good choice.
He's
It's
got
a
little
crowd
bit-
favorite.
He's got a little bit more than a prayer.
Yeah. Well, hey, hopefully we're halfway there with this stuff.
Yeah.
I see what he did.
Yeah,
there.
you see that?
That was
Yeah.
nicely done.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, just
y'all have a-
everybody
y'all have a
remember, we're going to make
Thank you, David.
America great again, and it's slippery when wet.
That's right. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy your show.
Thank you, sir.
So I was such a punk when Bon Jovi, that album came out. Yeah, I had that album cover all over my bedroom. I thought it was cool like that.
Well, I always remember that beginning scene. It's not the very first scene, but Spaceballs, when they're in the Winnebago.
Yeah.
And it comes into that opening track, Bon Jovi song. It's, yeah, John Candy.
Oh man, great comedian. Too soon.
Who are you, Barf? No, that's my name. What are you? Oh, I'm a Mog, half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
Man, the scene in Uncle Buck.
I loved Uncle Buck.
Here's a quarter. Go down to the gas station, let that rat chew that mole off your face.
I saw what movie is it where he eats the huge steak?
Great Outdoors.
Great Outdoors.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest ones ever.
Yeah.
He's water skiing.
The old 96er.
You got the crystal.
Well, in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles,
That's
it's not
another great
it's
one.
not John Candy though. I love how that movie is a slow burn, and you get the scene where Steve Martin just starts dropping curse word. Oh, it's glorious because we've all been there where you're just pent up, and it's so comedic in its effect. You hate being that person.
Yeah.
Well, this happens on the radio when we go on rants. Like, it feels awful, folks. We're actually upset. And then you'll go back and watch and go, okay, that is kind of funny.
Is that the greatest Thanksgiving movie ever?
It's up there.
Yeah, one of the greatest holiday movies ever.
It's in the running to be the greatest.
Yeah.
What else you got for Thanksgiving movies?
Oh, I don't even know, man.
I go back. Well, it's not a movie, but
I
Charlie
haven't
Brown.
prepared.
That was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was Thanksgiving coming up. You'd run. I think CBS that would run those specials.
I can only name two off the top. That was one, and Dutch is the other.
Dutch was great. That was a great movie.
Ed
Ed
O'Neill.
O'Neill.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
There's so many, classics that have been forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
There are, of course, the greats that everybody knows, but, I need to do a deep dive on some of the forgotten classics.
One of my favorite underrated movies, Midnight Run.
Midnight Run.
Mm-hmm. You remember it?
I don't know that one.
It's amazing.
Really good movie.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen that.
How about Cool Runnings?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Runnings,
man.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Candy.
Yeah. I like that movie, but it's all right.
We just celebrated Juneteenth. You could at least be a little more celebratory.
Well, Purple Rain last night at the Capri.
Yeah.
That was a good turnout.
Yeah,
Glad
apparently a 4K version is coming out, remastered. Definitely. I hadn't watched it in a while.
Are you one of those guys that says every line in the movie?
No. Even movies I love, I don't do that crap. And Purple Rain's an okay movie. The music scenes, every shot of them performing at First Avenue is awesome.
Yeah.
But the whole movie's kind of, it's not the greatest movie.
It hit me last night. Purple Rain was, in my opinion, what Footloose was for teenagers, but for 20-year-olds back in the day. And
Okay.
The storyline, little missing, but as far as a fun flick.
Well, and it is a little dated in terms of Morris Day doing his old school pimp character. And they threw a woman in the dumpster and
the scene about bathing yourself or what was it in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You have to purify yourself.
Purify yourself.
Yeah, and then she gets all naked.
Oh, yeah.
Apollonia does get naked. And then he goes, that ain't Lake Minnetonka.
Might be my favorite scene in the movie.
By the way, she almost got hypothermia. They said it was incredibly cold.
You can definitely tell it was cold in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
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 She's a great actress.
Well, that's a.
She's probably practicing her method acting.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick a Prince movie, though, if I had to watch a Prince movie, it would be Under the Cherry Moon.
Of course you would.
But Purple Rain's good for the music stuff, like I said. But honestly, I've seen them, and if you mention Graffiti Bridge, I'll punch you in the face.
Why,
it was
Why?
awful. He was a genius in a lot of ways, but he thought he could do everything, and it's just no, you couldn't.
Yes, he
You're
could.
getting your own way. I mean,
Yes, he could. Game blouses.
Though Mavis Staples
Right.
singing
Don't
Melody
ever
Cool
forget
was
that.
pretty awesome. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, let's go to line 3. Hey, who's this?
Joey, I'm sorely disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody mentioned The Homecoming.
The Homecoming.
Yeah. Talk about forgotten movies. Thanksgiving. The movie that I think this was like made-for-TV melodrama with what was the woman's name? Patricia O'Neill. The movie that was like the
1971?
that sparked the Waltons, man.
Yeah,
I mean, come on,
1971.
Joey.
I was
Come on.
born in 1988, James.
Well, you don't watch old movies?
I do, but I don't know all of them.
Okay, what about this one? Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. You got that one?
Yeah, that's a good one. It's been a while, too. I need to rewatch that. That's a classic. And,
Long Hot Summer.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't remember it.
That's also with Paul Newman, I believe. But it was remade by none other than Miami Vice fame for TV, once again. Do you recall? Don Johnson.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, Long Hot Summer. It was about a firebug.
I'm still stuck on thinking about Elizabeth Taylor and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Okay, don't hurt yourself,
Don
Joey.
Johnson's Heartbeat. Can't believe you didn't go there. I was too busy listening to the album. I didn't see the movie.
Yeah.
Don Johnson's Heartbeat.
Great song. Great 80s.
Great song.
One-hit wonder there.
Yep.
One-hit wonder. That was definitely not Prince, right?
No.
Kid might have it if he sits around.
I saw Purple Rain in the theater, a $1 movie over there at 99 cents, over there somewhere off the Atlanta Highway, which I don't think this theater exists any longer. But I saw it 3 times that summer. What was that? 1985.
84.
84. Whew. Probably the best Super Bowl halftime performance.
Yes.
Prince in the rain, no doubt.
Yeah.
No less. In
Yeah,
the
not
rain,
even close.
Prince. You think he was playing live or was that recorded?
It was
I shouldn't
definitely
have said
live.
Must be live with him.
Yeah, they were worried about it. The story is the NFL and the producers called him saying it's going to rain hardcore, and his response was, "Can you make it rain harder?" And now the guy was, when he was on, like he almost seemed alien. Like
He was the best.
Yeah,
Yes, well.
he had his misses though, too. But, you know.
Oh, sure.
Gosh, there was another point in there somewhere, Joey, but it escapes me. You know, after 60, if you can make a point, you're doing good. And if you can make 2 or 3 in a row, it's even better. But
Well, doing talk radio for a decade, I've learned this.
But at some point, Joey, it's just like it gets sketchy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're just rolling along, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, what was I talking about? Was I talking, or was that maybe I was listening to somebody while they were talking? You know what I'm saying?
And then you get flashbacks to 1984, and you're like, man.
Avalon.
Or even further than that.
Yes.
You know, like The Homecoming.
Right.
You should check this out, Joey. I believe it's Patricia O'Neill. Of course, she did not reprise the role in the series on television. All right, she was not the Mother Walton in the series. I believe that was Michael Learned. Gosh.
Yeah,
It's
Richard
amazing.
Thomas, Patricia O'Neill, Ellen Corby, David Harper. I'm just reading off the cast now.
Yeah, I remember the scene. See, some of the kids were asked to read or to recite Bible verses, and they would get a Christmas gift, if I'm not mistaken. You know, and gosh, Mary Ellen says Jesus wept. It's amazing what you can recall, even after 60, Joey. Just think, see, there is life after 60.
Well, you continue to amaze me, James. Thank you for the call.
Ta-ta.
See you, James.
Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
Is this me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I didn't hear the phone click. What's going on, Joey?
What's up, Fred?
Eddie?
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm kicking it, dude. That you made me forget. You made me remember that daggum Midnight Run. That movie was so funny.
It was a good movie.
Charles Grodin with his laid back self, and then De Niro with his Tums eating, just vulgarities flying out of his pie hole. Oh man, it was hilarious. And I hate that because now I can't stand to look at De Niro, but but back then, man, that movie was so daggone funny. I could not stop laughing. And still, if I said, well, I don't know, I might not watch it if I saw it come on now, but
Oh, it stands the test of time. It's still good.
It really, yeah.
1988.
it's
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, it was funny.
It was.
Have you ever seen it, Joey?
No, I don't think I have. Looking at I just pulled it up. I don't think I've seen it.
You gotta watch it, man.
Okay.
You have to watch it. It is hilarious. It is to me. That kind of humor is right up my alley. You know, the trashier you talk, the happier I get.
Yeah.
That's what I say to my dates.
That's why I'm telling you. I'll throw in an extra $1 or $2. Come on now. But anyhow, all right. Yeah, I appreciate bringing that back up, man. Because that movie was it was one of my favorites in the comedy realm. It just the way they played off of each other. Because you couldn't wind Grodin's clock, you know, with a wrecker.
He was as flat as he could be.
And De Niro was just pricelessly funny.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, all right, fellas, y'all have a good one.
You too.
Appreciate it, man. Let's hit this break. Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Oh, pretty good. Life's all right.
I tell you, I've already been to Auburn, then went to Tallahassee, and there's no easy way to get to Tallahassee to Prattville. I can tell you that right now.
There is not.
No, it's just get behind the log truck.
Yep.
and it's against my nature to chill in a car because I'm like, I got to get there. But sometimes you just got to say, okay, breathe, relax, listen to the radio, listen to talk radio. Hallelujah for talk radio because you saved my sanity all the way back.
That's good to
Which should have been a 30-minute drive turned into an hour.
Yep. You do Highway 14?
Yes. Yes. All the way.
Yep.
Yep. But you know what? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yep. That's what you got to do.
If you live in Tallahassee and I've got to drive Highway 14, I can tell you right now that Chad, David, Bart, or Terry will be happy to do it.
That's good to hear.
Because this was the third time this week I've been in Tallahassee. I'm done. I'm going to send one of them next.
So folks should still call 285-8117, but don't ask for Ray. Ask for anybody else.
Anybody, if it's in Tallahassee, I love you guys. It's a great city, beautiful. Uncle Jared was the store manager when Dixie there for years and years. But please ask for Chad or David.
Chad gives the best discounts. I'd ask for Chad.
Yeah. Hey, and we do have all kinds of sales going on. If you have anything you need on flooring, seriously, call us. 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement within an hour or two. They'll get the trucks and come running.
Again, 285-8117, and be sure to tell them you heard Ray here on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Hey, guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
See you, buddy.
Well, we got enough time for this. You know, people always like, men are just pigs. Men are never wholesome. Men are...
Yeah.
This clip resurfaced, became viral. This is a very cute lady. I definitely would. I would date her so much. British. Well, she's just cute and British. And so this is about Elon Musk and her.
Oh.
You know, he said, I don't usually do this, but, you know, I'd love to see you tomorrow. Can we meet for breakfast? And we had breakfast. And then at the end of breakfast, he said, will you come and have lunch with me?
Mhm.
So then we
Oh,
went
wow.
for lunch. And then he said, will you come to dinner? And then I remember one evening he said, would you like to come back to my hotel room so we can look at rocket videos? And I thought, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll come back. And we did get into his hotel room and he did just show me rocket videos. You know.
Joey, why do I think you could relate with that?
I can relate so much. So much with that. It's like, I just want to show you my rocket videos. Like,
let me show you how I play bass. Let me get out this acoustic guitar.
Wait, that wasn't a euphemism? No, my favorite line I've heard, I think it's from Neil Strauss's The Game. It was some guy who would tell chicks, you want to go back to my place and watch my cat, Richard Nixon, do backflips? And he wasn't joking. The cat could actually do backflips, and it was named Richard Nixon.
That's an
Anyway,
amazing kitty.
on that silly note, we got to get out of here. Greg Budell and Happy Hour. He's next.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WA.